Welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Slutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's party. Welcome back. Oh, we got a fun one tonight. That is right. Bar fight with Michael Knowles, and a little bit of clickbait because it was a thing where Luke Beasley, one of these little lefty beta boys, came in, and some other girl from the left, but it was very interesting, and it was very good. Shout out to Section 230. Welcome to the party. We also got HR Death Poets, and I'm a vertical now. We got the verticals versus the landscapers. Welcome. We also got Cameron. Welcome, guys. Very good to see you. Yeah, not too much else to say. We're gonna have a good time. As always, if you can enter the video, please do let me know.
No! Despicable person! No! I thought I'm sick and tired of you!
Let me finish. You had a monologue already.
I tell people that Michael Knowles is my internet dad.
Stop it.
We got a bar full of people, and you want us to debate HOAs.
Because this is America! Welcome to Bar Fight. Tonight I'm joined by two libs.
That's my case. I think it's a pretty good one.
My first guest, that is Zina Ikemek.
You've been calling me a lib this whole time. I hate to break it to you. Might be a little bit worse than that.
Uh-oh.
Just be consistent. I've been very consistent.
Luke gets to finish his point.
I think this bell's rigged.
My second guest is one of the top names in online liberal commentary today, Luke Beasley.
I cannot stand that kid.
Here is how it works.
I cannot stand that kid. He is the epitome of just like young buck who thinks he knows everything and doesn't really know shit about jack. Play. Pause.
We have each brought 3 topics to the table. The audience chooses the topics. The bell rings. We'll duke it out for that round. And then our highly sober patrons can come up to the microphone. Why are they laughing already? How long have they been in? They can go up to the microphones to pick a fight with any of us. If you want to fight me, you go to the blue microphone. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, but that's what you have to do.
If you want to fight, you gotta be there. And again, of course, guys, shout out to Morty, the co-host and overlord. Every single donation comes with a treat for him. And if we hit that goal at the top of the chat there, then not only does he get a special treat, but you get to watch me do push-ups with that puny arms. I need your help. Thank you so very, very much.
If you want to fight either of my wonderful guests, you go to the red microphone, but do not wait, because there is a time limit to each round. We have over here, for the asker of the best question, a magnificent VIP table where you can have some delicious John Rich Redneck Riviera bourbon, and I think we have some Mayflower cigars. There's always... There are all these dumb rules in American cities where you can't, smoke indoors.
I need a new mouse. I always wonder how they get, somebody, big names. These guys have got millions of followers between them. And they must have done some, super low-key, you got to be a member of the bar, and then they email you or something like that. Because how would that not be something that, firstly, we all heard about? And secondly, something that would be, lines out the door.
Anymore or whatever. But anyway, I won't pay attention. Lady, gentlemen, are you ready?
Ready.
It's round one. Now we read the potential topics. Ladies first.
All right, here we go. Real quick. Let's shout out who else we got in the building. Shout out to the Rage page. Welcome. Very good to see you guys. We got Lone Wolf and Cub. Indian Jesus, that is me. Welcome. Shout out to Agnes, Omega. I'm gonna call you Omega. Welcome to the party, and of course our boy Angry Amputee. Welcome, guys. Very good to see you. And yes, they have their bar fight, but we have our own bar fight. The Verticals, if you're watching on the Vertical stream, versus the Landscapers, the Mexicans up in here. Who's got the better likes? Who's got more views? Let's see. Welcome. Let's dive right in.
This liberal man was going to cut off the lady. Come
on, Luke. What are you doing? Come on,
Take
Luke.
it away.
Zina, what's your topic?
My first topic is that Donald Trump is a sexual predator.
True.
Pretty simple.
Who cheers for that? That's crazy behavior. Luke?
If the Epstein files were actually released, not whatever the heck he's doing now, Trump's presidency would be destroyed.
Based on what? Like, how could you even make that claim without the whole point is we don't know what's in the files. Shout out to Carl's Frosted Tips over on Rumble. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya.
It started out with crickets, but okay.
We got someone switched over. We got a new landscaper. There we go. We got 4 likes from the landscapers on only 1 on the vertical. So good job, landscapers. You are doing your job.
Claim is that libs are ruining Thanksgiving and they need to cut it out.
Death Poet, I put the link, I tell you this every single time. Not only do I pin the link to the top of the vertical chat if you want to come over to the landscape, but I also dropped it in the chat. It's the first, if you scroll up, the last thing that I put in the chat is the link to come over to the horizontal supremacy world, if you would like.
I actually wanted to talk about the other topics, but Mr. Davies, do we know which topic?
My ear's still ringing from this side. I think Thanksgiving won this round.
Okay, Thanksgiving. It's too.
Aren't they all angry? Aren't they all? Shout out to Steve. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. Cacao. Is that how you say that? Cacao. Do the Indian head? I'm not sure I know what you're talking about. This is a very, very weird question. I don't know what it is that you're saying.
Bad. Maybe in a bonus round or something, we can get back to one of those. Okay. It's very, very frustrating. We've all seen it anecdotally. The libs want to pick fights at Thanksgiving. Sometimes they don't want to show up to Thanksgiving. And sometimes they want to disinvite you from Thanksgiving. This is backed up by empirical data. There's a study came out, I think it was Deseret News, said that 40% of Kamala voters would disown a family member over politics. That is compared to only 11% of Trump voters. Then there was a survey from the American Enterprise Institute showed that 23% of very liberal respondents have, in fact, disowned family over political views compared to just 9% of very conservative respondents.
How the hell did I lose 2 subscribers in the last 2 days? But either way, guys, we are so close to hitting that 5K. Come on, focus up. We are so close to hitting that 5K. If we can do that by Christmas, which is not that hard, it would be the greatest gift that you could make me. If you are new here, please do hit that subscribe. I am live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So make sure you hit that subscribe. And you know that YouTube sucks with those notifications, so ring the bell too.
One final number comes out of, I think it was the Skeptic Research Center, said that liberals across all ages are more likely than conservatives, much more likely actually, to disown friends and family over politics. And I think that's mean and nasty and wrong. And listen, if I'm willing to have Thanksgiving with my liberal relatives, they should have Thanksgiving with me. Do you disagree?
I mean, it's pretty simple. It was always a matter of, hey, when the family gets together, specifically on Thanksgiving, that, political things are going to flare. And the cultural aspect behind that was that, okay, we're going to get into some arguments and we're going to, ruffle each other's feathers. But we do it anyway because what is more important than these opinions is our family. Whatever happened to that?
Interesting.
I would say I definitely disagree, Michael. And I think it's because libs have a lot more to disown family members about. I mean, when we look at what the president is doing at our borders, as well as how we're treating,
What about what the last president was doing at our borders, aka nothing?
immigrants in this country, I think it's pretty clear that, there's something humane and immoral that's going on. I think that's what's mean and nasty. So
okay, just on that.
You mean like, chopping off perfectly healthy children's body parts? Sounds pretty nasty to me. Shout out to equality and deference because vagina over on Rumble. Welcome. Said liked and shared. Oh my goodness. Thank you so very, very much. Again, you guys know that stuff is really, really helpful. It's free. It's easy. And it doesn't even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link that you share. Just by you telling the platform you want more people to see it, they will show it to more people. Thank you so very, very much. And welcome to the party.
Well, I'm looking forward to talking at Thanksgiving with my relatives about why their king is still covering up the Epstein files.
Right.
So I'm
look, he's not king yet. We're working on it, but he's not king yet.
I don't know if it's gonna.
Hey, at least he's willing to talk about it. At least he's willing to talk about it. And I'm saying, no, I'm not going to talk to you ever again.
Ruin Thanksgiving. Like she said, if you're the one supporting the guy who's covering for one of the greatest pedophile rings ever, then yeah, that would be more disown over than What?
Okay,
For
so
being
on that
liberal.
point, he did just sign a bill with almost unanimous support in Congress to release all the Epstein files.
With
We'll get to that.
exceptions.
We'll get to that in a moment.
And again, I also don't love how that's been rolled out, but he definitely is a charmer. But yeah, it's so easy to just frame, oh, well, here's some bad things, so that makes you a bad person. But like, just turn it around. We have abortion. We have the trans stuff. We have just the general degeneracy that we see on the left. Even as somebody who is not a religious person, that is the major reason that I find myself right of center, because that's the Italian in him. Because the left is just not a viable place for a rational person.
Yes, he won't.
I think so. You'd be willing to talk to your conservative friends.
Of
that
course.
Think, okay. So then, really, to Zina's point, I guess you say, look,
Give me 1 second. Here's what I'm gonna do. Can we put this on the puppy? I just got to turn the fan on because it is hot. All right. Can you see? If you can't see, I'm sorry, verticals. That is a reason to come over and be a landscaper. Hold on 1 second. Ooh. It is hot. All right, let's party. Let's party. Wait, did you guys actually, did the verticals actually get to see anything? Any Morty? Maybe a little bit? All right, well, see, another reason to be another landscaper. You get to see the whole 9 yards. In case you didn't get to see him, that's our boy right there. Isn't he adorable? Isn't he adorable?
have a lot more reason to disown conservatives because we find their policies and their desires morally objectionable. But think about it the other way. You support abortion, I take it.
I mean, it's right there. It's right there. Well, if you're the ones doing the bad stuff, well, then it's your fault that we're not talking to you. Okay, well, in my opinion, you're doing some really bad stuff. So how come all of us can overlook that, but you're just so amazing because you're not willing to have the conversation?
Come on, man.
Yeah, before I would say second trimester, yeah.
Okay, so from my perspective, as a conservative, as a Christian, I don't support abortion. I think it's really bad. I think it's killing babies.
So, Lone Wolf, the frustration is that there's a lot of stuff redacted in what was released, and you know we're looking for who are the people that went to Epstein Island to do the bad things, so that at least if they're not going to be prosecuted, that the public can know. I would like to see a little bit more than what we got. Section said, meanwhile, none of them gave two shits about the files while Biden was in office. Yep. Oh, sorry. Doubled up on there. But they didn't say a word about him being evil for not releasing him. Rules for thee, but not for me. And yeah, I'd say abortion is a bit worse than deportation. You know? Well, and that, Death Poet, is the question. What is bad stuff? What does bad stuff actually mean? Lone Wolf said Trump's administration locked up Epstein in 2019. Trump signed the bill to release the files in 2025. Nothing happened from 20 to 24 because Democrats were in charge. Yup. Yeah, right. That's why I'm sticking with section.
As a Christian, I don't support abortion. I think it's really bad. I think it's killing babies. I think even the fact that you would put some limits on abortion suggests you might consider that at least at some point too. So I am perfectly willing to sit down with friends and family members of mine who I think support.
Who cares, bro? Who cares? That's the whole discussion. The discussion is we care, but we're not shunning you. We're not saying you can't come to Thanksgiving. That's the point.
Sit down with friends and family members of mine who I think support.
We're sitting down right now. What's the point?
Right.
I'm sure you're getting paid for this. Weren't you the guy that said you would need $5,000 to go on Timcast? That's why you're there. And if not, well, then you know that teaming up. I mean, they tagged it. You can see it's Michael Knowles and Luke Beasley. Why are you there? That's why you're there.
Might be too sensitive. I agree.
So you agree with me? So it's
all right, there we
you
go.
and me against Zina.
Hold on.
Zina's with me.
Wait,
No, you guys are
Michael,
We're trying to stand up.
to
We're trying
finish
to
my
stand
point.
up for our
Michael, you
fellow
made
liberals.
the point towards me, right? So
Was
you
that
want me
Reed Choi? Was that Reed Choi?
Michael,
We're trying to stand up.
to
We're trying
finish
to
my
stand
point.
up for our
Michael, you
fellow
made the
liberals.
point.
That's definitely Reed Choi. You guys know Reed Choi, right? I don't know how you spell it. Shit. I don't know if you guys would, because you know He is a TikToker, but let's see. Yeah, dude, that's him. That's him. He does skits and stuff. Well, let's do a little side quest.
We're not asking to get paid the same amount the men do.
So it's WNBA players asking to be paid the same percentages as NBA players after losing $50 million in 2024.
Dude, we're just asking to get paid the same percentage. You'd be in debt. What are you talking about? You guys have never made the money. There's never been a single year where the WNBA has ever been profitable. In fact, in 2024 alone, you have lost your organization $50 million. Wait, what about Caitlin Clark and Angela Reese? We have our stars. I bet the men have something to do with this. The men are the ones that are paying for everything. The entire organization is subsidized by the NBA, the men playing it. You have no bigger supporters than the men. In fact, it's the women that aren't watching the show, so it's not bringing in the advertising dollars or the brand deals, so we can't make money off of y'all. And so now it's literally charity. You're getting paid by men's charity, and you're blaming us for it. Well, I don't need no man. You definitely do. Well, I bet if the women played the men, you guys would be very surprised, and then we would get all our eyeballs.
Would we know?
I would pay to watch that. That's actually not a bad idea, but not for the reason that you think so, but I would pay to watch that.
Boom. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I have if you tell me your name, and I won't remember in 5 seconds. But I see you for 5 minutes in 10 years. I'm like, didn't I see you at that one place? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. All right. Hey, look what we got. Look what we got. The captain of the Moral Felon Crew. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Instead of a bear takes a shit in the woods, does it make a sound? That depends on what he ate. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There we go. The rage page. We're on the same mind thingy. All right, whatever. Here we go.
That's towards me, right? So you want me to respond, right?
Yeah, well, just to finish my point, Zina,
right.
I'm willing to sit down, and conservatives are willing to sit down with liberal family members who we believe correctly support the wholesale slaughter of infants to the tune of $70 million a year. You might object to our, hold on one second. You might object to our immigration policies, but doesn't the principle of moral objection gut both ways?
So the problem is the point that you're making is not about human persons. You're talking about
I think it is.
Well, personhood is defined by consciousness, and it's just the case. Of course it is.
Where have you ever seen personhood defined by consciousness? And even if you want to say, okay, they're not a person, they're just a human, that doesn't help you at all. Come on. Oh, we need a new mouse.
Personhood is defined by consciousness, and it's just the case.
I don't
think so. It is. Well, okay.
I guess we disagree on that.
What makes a human being dead? Like, when does a human being? When are they considered dead?
Not when they go unconscious, because then I would be dead every single night when I go to sleep.
But when there's no longer an ability for conscious experience to occur, there's no longer a human person, right? No, and that's not the case. No. Let me finish. Hold on. I gave you a moment. So
we gonna let her finish.
What we're talking about here is the sense that. Right. Yeah, we're talking about Thanksgiving, but we're also talking about morality. So if we want to talk about Thanksgiving, we can also let's get back to morality.
I guess Zina.
Hold on, let's shout out our boy Agent Zade's in the building, starting us off on the super chat goal. Of course, every donation comes with a treat for Morty there, and then we've got plenty to fill up that Kong that he's got there. Thank you so very, very much. Welcome to the party. How have you guys been? We also got CPT in the building. Welcome. Adam said, I only asked because I was walking the woods today, and I thought I heard a bear, but it sounded like it was taking a dump. Well, if it sounds like a bear taking a dump, and it smells like a bear taking a dump, it might be a bear taking a dump. Welcome to the party, guys. Let's see. Yeah, what was that? Play! Oh my goodness!
We're also talking about morality. So if we want to talk about Thanksgiving, we can also let's get back to morality.
I guess Zina, my broader point.
Michael,
because I think you're evading my broader point.
Michael, let's get back to the morality point. You find homosexuality to be immoral, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you wouldn't.
But I have homosexual friends.
Okay, but you wouldn't elect a homosexual to be president, right?
It depends. If he were just like homosexual in the British way, where he likes Cole Porter,
what if he was
went to Eton or something?
Okay, but what if he was homosexual in the blowing Bubba way? Would you elect him then?
I don't think.
See, then it's not that he would be like, no, because of the fact that you like Bubba, then you're not getting elected. It's just that a lot of other things downstream from wanting to suck off Bubba is probably not going to align with Michael Knowles. It's not bigotry. It's just preferences.
Would you elect him then?
I don't think Donald Trump is Bill Clinton's type. I don't know. We know a lot about Bill Clinton's preferences.
No, but Epstein seemed to think so, and in the legal documents that are being reviewed
I don't
right now in
trust
litigation.
Jeffrey Epstein. I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I trust legal documents.
I think you're evading the question, Zina. I think you've totally evaded
it. Brought up Thanksgiving. I think you shouldn't disown your relatives except for some crazy cases. Families number.
Well, there you go. There you go. That's the question. Should you not have Thanksgiving with people because they don't agree with your politics?
For one, but
yeah, we're on the same team.
Quality said, person is defined by consciousness. I got bad news for you, brown sugar.
But what is going to ruin Thanksgiving is that the guy who promised affordability is driving up costs, as even he's having to admit now with the reversal of his tariff policy. The Thanksgiving meals getting more expensive, I think, is more relevant to this.
No, one thing I noticed,
because we're all here. We're all here to discuss. So clearly, none of us are those people disowning family members. It feels a little irrelevant, but the cost feels more relevant.
You're saying the point you're making is irrelevant. I agree.
I'm saying your point about like some random liberals that aren't here disown family members. I don't really care.
No, Zina's actually saying she would disown family members.
And it's about the principle. It's not like, Luke, you did this. This is I need the word for it. But this immaturity of like, well, it doesn't directly affect me, therefore who cares? It's like, well, there's other people who maybe are wanting to have a nice family dinner and somebody is sick and this might be the last holiday and so on and so forth. They care. And politics is about what works for how society runs and all that stuff. It's not just about you, Luke. Thank you. Rage Page said, like and share. Again, guys, that stuff is so easy. It's free. It helps out so very much. And it does not even matter if you think anybody is going to click on the link. It does not matter. Just share it everywhere. Thank you so very, very much.
I think she was justifying.
Michael, which of my family members have I disowned? I'm confused.
No, I'm just...
Again,
so you...
solipsism. This is called solipsism. Me. The only way that I could look at the world is me. I have never disowned my family members. Therefore, disowning family members is completely irrelevant to any discussion. Was it not you who just said, yes, we're talking about Thanksgiving, but we're also talking about morality?
Stupid.
Wait,
I think she was justifying.
Michael, which of my family members have I disowned? I'm confused.
No, so you agree that liberals should not disown family members. They should show up to Thanksgiving. That 40% of liberals are wrong to say that we should disown family. So we all agree on that point?
I don't think 40% said we should disown family.
Yes, 40% according to...
They just called the show Bar Fight. So, obviously I gotta run the algorithm, right? You know. I don't
think 40% said we should disown family.
Yes, 40% according to
are more likely to. Right?
Over anyone who's first.
They would justify it.
Oh, they would justify
40% of Kamala Harris supporters.
I'm special.
Yeah, okay. So I'm trying to figure out, because both of you are completely evading the topic and changing it.
Wait. How am I supposed to argue?
Right. And so, Rage Page, this is where Luke was trying to smuggle that in. And Rage Page said, family should be able to put aside personal preferences. However, if a family member, let's say, becomes a registered PDF, it's okay to disown them. Right. And that's why it was specifically about political beliefs. If you have different political beliefs, should that be a reason to disown them or not talk to them or any of that kind of stuff?
You're right, because both of you are completely evading the topic and changing it.
Wait. How am I supposed to argue with something that I don't think you should disown family members? But if we want to talk about Thanksgiving, we're not talking about other topics. We're talking about the one that the people chose. And so you might agree with me, and that's delightful for you. It means you're on the right side of the question. But Zina, I think you disagree. And so you're trying to avoid the question. My claim, is the claim we're debating, is libs are ruining Thanksgiving and they need to cut it out. Do you agree with that?
I think there's grounds for, considering disownership when we look at the fact that Trump has been held civilly liable for sexually assaulting a woman named E. Jean Carroll. This was held in federal...
When?
She was crazy.
When was this? When was this?
How come? What were the?
You're crazy.
Were the two courts in two separate years that found him guilty, and him not having exculpatory evidence to prove that he was.
Hold on, I need to think for 1 second. I was just gonna look something up. Shout out to not Jeremy Renner. I think we were on the same page. Okay, I'm gonna back this up a little bit because she said something, and I was like, I gotta look. I was about to look that up. Maybe we're on a different page, but either way, welcome.
That Trump has been held civilly liable for sexually assaulting a woman named E. Jean Carroll. This was held in federal. She was crazy. Well, how come? What were the?
You're crazy.
Were the two courts in two separate years that found him guilty, and him not having exculpatory evidence to prove that he wasn't guilty? Were they all also
Zina,
insane?
When did
Yes.
Donald Trump assault E. Jean Carroll?
I'm not sure what the date was.
Neither is E. Jean Carroll because she doesn't know if it's 95 or 96.
Okay,
and she only reported it 23 or 24.
Wait, Michael, do you?
And notice how it's like the weakest of cases. Whereas if any other politician, let alone president, but if any other politician had the amount of scrutiny that Trump has, do you think any of them would walk away as clean as Trump has? I mean, it's insane. And of course, they'll run to say, well, they're not illegal immigrants are not, they didn't commit any crimes. But here, well, civil court, criminal court, doesn't really matter. Rules for thee, but not for me.
Do you not support our court system? Do you agree that our
I think courts sometimes make mistakes, and I think
what evidence do you have of the mistake that they've made?
Okay, here's my evidence because you keep changing the topic because you don't want to discuss the point that the people asked for. That's fine. E. Jean Carroll herself cannot tell you when the alleged sexual assault in Bergdorf Goodman occurred. She then reported it only 23 or 24 years later. She then went on.
Your boos mean nothing, but I have seen what makes you cheer. That is, I don't remember where I first heard that. I couldn't tell you who it's attributed to, but what a great line. What a great line.
Goodman occurred. She then reported it only 23 or 24 years later. She then went on Anderson Cooper's show when she was reporting this and said that rape is sexy. It was so weird that Anderson Cooper had to cut to commercial. This was reported by George Stephanopoulos in ABC. He said that Trump was liable for rape, and ABC News and George Stephanopoulos had to pay Trump $16 million for defamation because that wasn't true. I don't find her credible.
You have to let me, since you made a bunch of points on that, respond to it. Put in all these events. He's on tape saying, "Oh, my grandmother, it was a joke." Okay, then he is found civilly liable.
It wasn't a joke. He specifically said they let you do whatever they want. What part of that is a joke, and what part of that is wrong? Oh, nothing. Okay.
Events. He's on tape saying, "Oh, my grandmother, it was a joke." Okay, then he is found civilly liable.
He's on tape saying what?
Wait.
Okay, I don't think we talked about my point.
The time. And of course, the liberals, they just weaseled their way out of the entire discussion because they agreed that they're like, well, I haven't done it. Well, why not? Maybe because you think it's a bad thing to do. What about Rick and Morty? Shout out to Rick and Morty. I had Morty first. But his full name doesn't. I should give something away if anybody knows his real name. Interesting. Jeremy Renner said, "How are you gonna say that without even looking at the case? Civil court can have just as much scrutiny. You might as well actually read through it before forming an opinion." I mean, yeah, I'm not saying you, I mean, of course, now I don't remember the details of it. Of course, you should be aware of what's going on, but that's why we have, you can't have all the details of everything in your mind all at one time. So when you are at the point of, okay, we're talking about this, then you have the details there, and then moving on, you remember just the takeaway. The takeaway is that it was bullshit, and she didn't remember. So, I don't really know what you're getting at there, but all right, let's dive back in here.
Then he is found civilly liable.
He's on tape saying what?
Wait.
Okay, I don't think we talked about my point. I think well, hold on. We have to ask who won. So if you agree, I don't even know what sides we're on here. I guess if you agree with me,
no. I mean, I think that potentially maybe something that could have been potentially misconstrued may have happened, but that's about as bad as it can get. Section said, I read it, and I think both of you and her are full of shit. Be nice. Attack ideas, not people.
So if you agree, I don't even know what sides we're on here. I guess if you agree with me, And Luke, I guess, is on my side. You raise the red sign. And if you agree with Zina, you raise the blue sign.
All right, so R's in the chat if you're with Michael, and B's in the chat if you're with the betas.
Got some good
I
people.
see. I would say there's a couple of blues there. Is that blue down there yet too? And then the rest is red. Okay, I think that goes to us. Good job, Luke. Now we cut for questions.
Yes,
Yeah, right. And again, a point being the sticking point that they are specifically conflating the two, the civil court and the criminal court, when it's convenient for them. If you don't understand and you're willing to say that, okay, they were found guilty in civil court, but you don't understand that it's preponderance of evidence and stuff like that, then okay, that's a mistake that you just didn't know any better. That's ignorance is not the same as malice, but they know better. They know better. Shout out to Desert Druid. Welcome to the party. Did I say M? Yeah, I said R's. What's Mike and what? Oh, with Mike. Gotcha. Okay. Well, so we'll do M's or B's. There we go. Everybody is with Michael. I think this was an easy one because, like he said, they kind of just didn't really address the question. Like liberals do.
Now we cut for questions.
yes, I think that in the idea of disowning your family and the borders and all those things, I think the liberal heart is the compassion is misplaced because we're not concerned about all these children that have been come across the border who were given a number that they call and no one answered. They've been abused. They've been sexually trafficked. They've been lost. We don't even know where they are. So if you have the compassion for them, you should have the compassion for closing the borders and taking care of their own country to help them get a better life and a better life in their own country with the things that they need. We can partner with those countries.
Charity begins at home. Do you agree?
Goddamn. It's almost like the left doesn't care about children or life. They don't care about the children that are here and alive and are being, spread around, shall we say? And they don't care about the children that are in the womb. But we're ruining Thanksgiving. Okay.
Life in their own country with the things that they need. We can partner with those countries.
Charity begins at home. Do you agree?
Answer that?
Yeah.
So obviously we should have a secure border. Obviously.
All right.
Were you saying that? Were you saying that through all the Biden years and when the bills came, where you're like, okay, this is good because again, I've spoken about how I don't appreciate how the deportations were sold and how the difference between how they're playing out. I ain't crying about it, but that's not what I voted for. And we don't need to get in a whole thing about, well, he never said he was specifically going to do that. That's besides the point. Point being, you can say that you want strong borders and you want deportations and everything, and then you can also, when that starts playing out in a way that I don't like this part, I don't like that part, I don't like that part. But I'm sure that if we look back at the Luke Beasley channel, I don't know if he will have ever uttered the phrase strong border unless he was making fun of it. Come on, man.
Obviously, we should have a secure border. Obviously.
All right. Are you on the Republican side of that? Hold on.
And we can both have a secure border and then separately not ignore due process, which is completely unrelated to what you're talking about, which is what Trump has done. And
but that's, again, dodging what she is saying. So you're like, yes, I agree with you. You're completely right about how your point undercuts everything that I just said. But also, here's a different point. Where do you think you are, bro?
Which is completely unrelated to what you're talking about, which is what Trump has done. And deporting people without due process who have legal asylum cases to prisons in El Salvador to rot there forever is completely against everything America is supposed to stand for. So let's have both.
So Rage Page said, Senator Kennedy of Louisiana did a bill for only natural-born Americans can hold office. I don't necessarily have a problem with a naturalized citizen being in office. I mean, when it gets to president and stuff like that, I don't really mind that much. It's more about, are we going to be seeing shit like in Dearborn, Michigan, where it's America is not at the forefront of what you care about. I think there's a lot of people who come to this country because they understand how great it is, and then they want to be involved. And there's nothing wrong with those people wanting to get involved. It's when that gets overturned by someone who's subversive. And I mean, fair enough if you're if that's where you stand, but that is for me. And Angry said no due process in, no due process out. Again, that's not how America works. So, but at the same time, due process just means the process that you are due. And an illegal immigrant is not due the same process that a citizen is. Shout out to Liberty Plus TV. Welcome to the party. So just be born in the country to even be a janitor in a government building. All right.
Is completely against everything America is supposed to stand for. So let's have both.
America is supposed to stand for Latin American gangsters. Okay, I didn't read that in the Federalist.
There was zero. Wait.
Okay, he's laughing, but that was a bit of a straw man, but not wrong.
Stand for Latin American gangsters. Okay, I didn't read that in the Federalist.
There was zero. Wait. Explain what evidence against Andre Hernandez Romero was there that he was a gang member?
The gangster case.
You can't name it. There was no evidence against him because he was a lawful asylum seeker who had come to the border checkpoint legally, who didn't illegally cross the border. Exactly. He ended up being sent because of a mistake, not the one you're thinking of, the other guy. I'm talking
What's
about
the other guy's name?
Okay, well then, hey, bro, mistakes happen. When you let 20 plus million people over the border and we need to try to fix that, mistakes are going to happen. That doesn't make it okay, but that's life.
You know his name.
Listen to how he demeans the poor refugees and asylum seekers.
That's who you're going to bring up. That's not who I'm bringing up. Bring up Andrew. I know his name. You don't know anything about him, and you're fine with our government sending him.
I know these details, and you don't. That means my principle is better than your principle. What? Not how that works.
That's not who I'm bringing up. Bring up Andrew. I know his name. You don't know anything about him. And you're fine with our government sending him to a prison indefinitely.
So you bring up
every basic international law and what America's supposed to stand for. So to the question,
hold on.
Secure border
but you asked about this guy. And I think it's very important. It's true. We don't know the names of all of the 20 million illegal aliens who are in this country.
He wasn't an illegal alien.
Who need to
You're making random points. He wasn't an
illegal alien. He was an American
alien.
citizen?
He wasn't an American citizen either.
He had a green card,
right?
There's
a difference.
Did
he
have
had
a green card?
immigration case.
No. You said he was seeking asylum,
and he hadn't entered illegally, so he's not illegal.
He had no right to be in the United States. You're saying he was seeking asylum.
He went lawfully to a checkpoint, applied, and his case was pending.
Yeah, you could have like Osama walking through with a Tren de Aragua membership card. He can lawfully go to a checkpoint. It doesn't mean he has any right to be in the United States.
Michael,
this is their other bait and switch that they try to. Well, even though they don't belong here and they're terrorists and they want to kill Americans and they want to erode our culture, they did it the right way. So, even though that the government is going to tell them that they can't be here in 9 years when they get a trial, well, right now, just whatevs. Doesn't affect me, right? Who cares? Insane.
Michael, you do understand that illegal immigrants are less likely to commit crimes in this
country
my
God.
than the legal citizens.
I don't even understand how that became a talking point. Like, the issue is not the first and foremost issue isn't that, oh no, all of these illegal immigrants are causing crime. Like, yes, that is an issue. But it is a basic principle that resources are finite. America is not doing so well. And we have a lot of corruption. And so anything that we can do to minimize all of those problems is what should be done. And bringing in an extra 20 million people who sometimes commit crimes is not doing that. Liberty said it's crazy how people are upset that people are stopped for breaking immigration laws. Meanwhile, potheads have been terrorized for like almost a century. My God, dilly to that. The amount of times, Liberty says, I've been illegally searched or had charges made up is insane. Yes, me too. I remember, oh man, there was one night, it was winter. I was coming home from work and, I was hot from work. So I was just in a t-shirt and whatever. And, I'm tiny, donate to the Swole Goal. And I got pulled over for some bullshit reason. They ripped apart my whole car. Just 'cause. found my my anxiety medication, which was in the bottle that had the all the information on. And they're like, "What are you doing with these? Are you selling these?" I'm like, no, I'm eating them. Like the doctor said. Like, well, I know that you're doing that. I'm like, bro, like I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you, but do you realize there's like 9 pills in here? That would probably be worth $17 on the street. You think that I'm out here coming home from work in my work clothes, but I'm risking my freedom for $17? Okay, bro. Okay, you gonna arrest me? Arrest me. Don't argue with cops. It never works out. There you go. W's in chat. Let's go.
Are less likely to commit crimes in this country than in the legal citizens. That is 100% true. And none of your statistics.
Hold on. What did you just call them? Zina, what did you just call them?
Right. So
hold on. What did you just call them?
Undocumented immigrants.
No, that's not what you called them.
That's
you called them illegal immigrants. I think you gave the game away.
Illegal. And so if you let's say get pulled over for speeding, are you not breaking the law because that is a civil infraction?
Come on, man.
Semantic obfuscation.
Undocumented immigrants.
No, that's not what you called them. You called them illegal immigrants. I think you gave the game away.
I think both of us care
illegal means unlawful.
We care a little bit more about.
Here's the problem: undocumented immigrants who come to this country fleeing, oftentimes war-ridden countries, oftentimes that have been intervened from America, right? Come to this country and they are less likely to commit violent crimes than any of the rest of you sitting in this bar. That is a fact that you can fact check out.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
And
so you're saying that if we had Shamul Abjir Bajabi, you would bet that all the people in that bar, the American citizens in that bar, would be more likely to commit a violent crime. Each one of them. She didn't say as a whole. She said each of you. And you can fact check it. Oh, please tell me how to fact check it. These people live in the numbers. Doesn't
rest
work
of you
like
sitting
that.
in this bar. That is a fact that you can fact check out.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
And the problem is there has been a narrative spread about illegal immigrants to make them seem as if there's some kind of villain in this country that are somehow, when you're
No, wrong. Again, this is the false framing. You're trying to act like they're bad people. No, we're just trying to act like we understand reality. Resources are finite. We don't have a handle on our own country, and we can't afford to bring people in, new people in, whether monetarily or culturally. It just doesn't work, as we can see with our lion eyes. But no, you didn't read this book, so you're wrong.
Them seem as if there's some kind of villain in this country that are somehow, when your lights shut off, when your electricity doesn't work, damn, it's those damn immigrants somewhere out there. They're always lurking. That's the
Cope and Strawman. I think that deserves projection. I've never in my life heard anyone talk about illegal immigrants in the what issues did she bring up?
Your lights shut off.
When your lights shut off. Yeah, it must be the illegal immigrants. That's either the worst straw man I've ever heard, or like we said, she actually thinks that we think that way.
Electricity doesn't work. Damn, it's those damn immigrants somewhere out there. They're always lurking. That's the problem.
Hey, shout out to Quality or Morgoth's Hammer. Shout out to Morgoth's Hammer over on Rumble. Welcome to the party. Said, liked, and shared again. Guys, thank you so very, very much. Very much appreciated. You guys know that stuff is free and easy, and it helps out so very much. Let's check out who is winning, the landscapers or the verts. Oh, man. We've got more likes on the verts than the landscapers in total. You guys are failing. You're letting the verticals beat you, and there's not even anyone over there right now. And you're losing to no one.
off. When your electricity doesn't work, damn, it's those damn immigrants somewhere out there. They're always lurking. That's the problem.
I don't blame them for that. I blame them for high prices and abusive welfare and
what
some
we
crime.
realize, though, is that they're doing the jobs that everyday Americans don't want to do. The jobs that...
Oh, this is back to the Kelly Osbourne thing that got her in trouble. When was this? 2015? Who will clean your toilets, Donald Trump? And we are still making that argument? This is the slavery argument. This is the slavery argument. Well, this is our economy is built on slavery. We can't just get rid of it. I mean, Democrats gonna Democrat.
Realize, though, is that they're doing the jobs that everyday Americans don't want to do. The jobs that pay, lesser wages. The problem is when you push them out... We need cheap
slave labor, so bring in those refugees. That's what we're going to use them for.
Other Americans are still doing that labor, and that's a fault of our system. But pushing them out continues to make worse living conditions for millions of people.
They're doing that labor for living wages. That's a pretty good idea. I support that.
That's not true.
Okay, next question.
But okay.
This question is...
Hey, if that's how you want to win, yikes. Okay, I mean, if that's how you want to win, then I feel bad for you, son. But hey, do what you got to do.
Living wages. That's a pretty good idea. I support that.
That's not true.
Okay, next question.
But okay.
This question is for Zina. I'm assuming you're a supporter of Black Lives Matter.
I do believe Black Lives Matter, yes.
Okay.
Notice how she couldn't just say yes because she doesn't support Black Lives Matter. But if she said, I don't support Black Lives Matter, then people would hate her. So she says, yes, I do think Black Lives Matter. That, miss, was not the question.
You're a supporter of Black Lives Matter?
I do believe Black Lives Matter, yes.
Okay, good. So if you're in favor of protecting Black lives, where do you believe the most dangerous place in our country is right now for Black children?
That depends probably.
New York City. Who knows why? It's New York City.
What do you believe the most dangerous place in our country is right now for Black children?
That depends probably at the hands of...
Okay, well then, okay, so, hey, if you want to be tied, if you want to be kneecapping yourself and still be tied, I mean, go for it. But I don't know about that. Shout out to Bucks in the building. Welcome to the party. Oh, brother. There we go.
Place in our country is right now. If you're in favor of protecting Black lives, where do you believe the most dangerous place in our country is right now for Black children?
Quality said, a Black woman's womb. Oh.
That depends probably at the hands of law enforcement.
The white people.
I think that would be like the worst place for a lot of Black children to be. But,
okay, so according to the CDC, 17 million Black babies have been aborted since Roe v. Wade. That's 35% of the current Black population in America.
Unfortunately,
so if you really care about Black Lives Matter, wouldn't you want to protect the millions of babies that are being slaughtered by their parents?
Yes, but I don't have any principles and people wouldn't like me if I said those things.
Yeah. So the only problem is when you're with your girlfriend and she needs to get a plan B, we don't kind of charge her with murder, right? That's because fetuses don't have personhood.
Who needs to get a plan B? It's an abortion drug.
A lot of people.
Yeah, you don't need to. You could just have the kid.
You could, or you can also, engage in your rights and get a plan B. Like a lot of Americans.
You could kill your kid, but he's saying that's bad, and it's bad specifically for Black people.
Any women...
Yet again, not engaging with what's being said. We're saying if you care about children, then you should not want children to be dead. And they say, well, everybody else would be a murderer then. How is that addressing the question that you've been asked? We're making the comparison about how you care about immigration and the children, or you don't care about immigration and the children there. But you say you care about children. And then in any example where you can help children, you're like, nah.
Get a plan B. Like a lot of Americans.
You could kill your kid, but he's saying that's bad, and it's bad specifically for Black people.
Any women in here who have IUDs, you could be considered a murderer, according to...
Now we're back to who's being a murderer. Not should you, what is her name, Zina? Do you, Zina, care about this thing? Just bob and weave.
Any women in here who have IUDs, you could be considered a murderer, according to Michael Knowles.
No, IUDs are not necessarily abortifacient the way that Plan B are.
In many different cases, IUDs will...
I mean, there's a reason that we have different crimes that are manslaughter and murder. At worst, IUDs would fall under the manslaughter category because it's not premeditated and there is no intention. So still wrong, but even if you want to make that argument, then you're still in the position of saying, well, this other thing hurts this many kids, but I'm in favor of something that hurts this many kids. So you're not helping yourself. You're just making everybody else's argument. And so, okay, fine. What if we said that anyone who uses an IUD is a murderer? Would that make things better? Exactly.
IUDs are not necessarily abortifacient the way that Plan B are.
In many different cases, IUDs will actually remove
I don't support those eggs, but they're different than Plan B.
Like Zina's doing right now. She's doing the thing.
Fertilized eggs from the uterus, and
from
that could lead to, or implantation, you're right. Yeah. And that would lead to a baby no longer being able to be conceived. So yes, that would be considered a murder of a human person, right?
Yeah, but you don't care about that, which is the question. Do you care? Why don't you care about that? Shout out to a Real Patriot USA. Welcome to the party. Do I support babies after birth? In what case? Like, if I had a baby, would I support that baby? Yes.
Able to be conceived. So yes, that would be considered a murder of a human person, right? That would be equal to any of the lives in here, which isn't the case. If we had like 50 fetuses just like stacked up on this table, and we took 50 people from the audience, would you say like these lives are worth the same?
But see, the people that you would bring up, if we were forced into that situation, there would be a moral dilemma because we believe in how the sanctity of a human life, whether we are Christians or not Christians, because based on science, conception is when new DNA is created. And it's just, again, just digging deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. This whole thing is her trying to say, well, yes, I'm bad, but you have bad ideas too. I'm bad, but you have bad ideas too. And so it's okay for me to have bad ideas. That's stupid. Morgoth's Hammer said, if you factor in the well-tanned youths killing each other with abortion, blacks kill each other more than cancer, heart disease, and accidents combined. God damn. And it's stats like, I don't know if that's a stat, but I mean, things like that are what really changed my mind on being pro-life or pro-choice. Because I was of the, I was in the safe, legal, and rare camp. And, the first time hearing, well, if it's safe and it's legal, why does it need to be rare? That knocks something loose. But I also didn't understand how much this was being used. I didn't understand, I just assumed that most people would think that this is a bad thing, and only in the most extreme cases was this used. And was I wrong? Adam said, I only support life after 1 year of age. If you can make it through that first year, then you're part of the club. Otherwise, you're on your own. Box I support bringing back the Cliffs of Sparta. Also, life begins at conception. Both are true for me. Wait, what's the first thing that you want? The Sparta? What? Death Note said, I couldn't be held responsible for alien implantation. Fair. Back in Sparta, they would take the child after birth and look it over, and if it wasn't deemed defective, they dashed it off the cliffs. Gotcha. So you're what's the fucking word? I don't remember, but it's that utilitarian shit where we could just kill all the stupid people and to make everybody smarter. What is that called? I don't know. That's gonna bother me. But anyway, guys, what are we doing? We got 12 people here and only 6 likes. Please just hit the like button. I don't know why you guys are making me beg like a little fruitcake, but just hit the button.
And we took 50 people from the audience. Would you say like these lives are worth the same? Are those lives the same?
I think all human life has equal dignity. Yeah.
So if we
they're all the same, but you are creating a hypothetical where one of them must die. Eugenics, thank you. Jesus fucking Christ. Thank you. That's the flaw in the hypothetical that she's giving. That yes, if we are forced to choose death, then one death is going to be different than another death. The point is to not choose death in the first place.
said, okay, let's take Luke over here. If we said Luke and or one fetus, like literally sitting like on the table.
Zina, and I mean, think about how she is. What? There's a little innocent baby, and there's Luke Beasley, and you think that that's a tough decision? I would let Luke Beasley die in a second, and I would hope that he would let me die, because that baby matters more.
Fetus, like literally sitting like on the table.
Zina, when do human beings?
I like Luke. Come on, that's not nice. She didn't even ask the question yet.
Which one would you, if you had to choose between saving a life?
Yeah, Michael's like, yo, let her get it out. Let her get it out. Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake.
She didn't even ask the question yet.
Which one would you, if you had to choose between saving the life of Luke or a fetus sat on this table, which one would you choose, Michael?
Zina, when do you believe that human beings get rights?
Okay, next question.
That's such a the fact that you would think that that's like, oh, okay, yeah, this will make them see that they want to kill the fetus and leave this fucking beta lib up here. What? No. So Quality said classic false dichotomy. It's not a false dichotomy if you are creating the hypothetical that it is a true dichotomy. So if you're saying if you have to pick A or B, that is the dichotomy. And so the in real life, that would be a false dichotomy because obviously you could let them both live, you could kill them both, so on and so forth. But when you create the hypothetical, then you're allowed to make the parameters such that there is a dichotomy. So it's not a false dichotomy unless you're trying to apply it to real life. Rage Bait said, imagine if pregnant women were supported by the men who impregnated them. Or imagine if we encouraged women to be mothers, like with baby dolls and easy bake ovens. I mean, I think we do. Most men do want to be part of their children's lives. Not to say there's not deadbeats, but that's kind of a bygone thing. We see a lot of what would be called deadbeat fathers. That's because of the courts.
Would you choose, Michael?
Zina, when do you believe that human beings get rights?
Okay, next question.
That sums everything up. Thank you.
Someone asked me a question.
No, nobody likes you, Luke. A shout out to Toe Knuckles. Welcome to the party. So do you have a counter to the hypothetical of saving 20 fertilized eggs from a fire versus one baby? No. I don't think it's a right or wrong answer. I think there is because now we're talking about everything is children. And so once the baby has been born, then you can make the argument that there is more value in the connections and the experience with the family and all that stuff. But no, it's a good hypothetical because I don't think there is a clear right or wrong answer. But again, by making it like a dichotomy and one of them has to die, then we're exploring where your values are. But again, it's a fair dichotomy because you're asking hypothetically. But yeah, I don't know which would let's put that to the poll. Which one would you guys pick if there was a fire and in the building was just one, we'll say 6-month-old baby, one 6-month-old baby and 20 fertilized eggs that were ready for implantation in the building, and you can only save one. Which do you save? I'm going to put up the poll. Give me a second.
Okay, next question.
That sums everything up. Thank you.
Someone asked me a question.
Hi.
Attention.
I have a question. Well, it's not really a question, more of a statement that you can answer to the libs. So I just became a mother, and 2 months ago, greatest joy of my life. And
yeah.
So feminism says that.
Boo, feminism. So I just put up the poll, guys. Which do you save if you can only save one option? The baby, or this is a live baby, or 25 fertilized fetuses. Feti? what do you call that? But yeah, it's a good. So kinda, yeah, it's like quantity over quality. And it's meant to flesh out the notion that if every life has equal value, then you should want to save the 20 fetuses because that's 20 lives versus the baby that is one life. But there's other factors in that. And again, because we're creating a situation where one of them must die, then it's okay to choose the lesser of two evils. Whereas if there is an option to save both, obviously the right answer is to save both. Box said, I actually believe it begins at conception. I know I came in slinging all that BLM jazz, but if it happens at all, it happens after that first cell splits, maybe even just a bit before. There you go. Section said the baby. It's already developed and born. The eggs may be fertilized, but they cannot become a baby unless implanted. Well, right, but that's the idea, is that if you save them, then they can be implanted. But fair answer. Monk said neither. Oh, the liberal answer. Let them burn! Let them burn! The eggs aren't implanted, so they can't come to term unless implanted in a womb. Right, again, but the point is that they're potential life in the same way that a fetus would be, like a normal fetus. And so if it makes it easier for you, just imagine that we have these what do you call them? The fucking artificial wombs. So they're 20 fertilized eggs in artificial wombs. Point is focusing on the potential life of the 20 versus the 1. Trying to do stuff like this is dodging the question like the libs were just doing.
And
yeah.
So feminism says that it takes a strong, independent woman to have a career. I already have a decent career, but that wasn't that hard. Becoming a mother takes a strong, independent woman. Let me just say, I had a natural birth. The question is, do you really think that being a strong, independent woman is being...
Yeah, so that section says, well, then save the 20 because they would become babies and adults, one life at the cost of many. And that's why it's not such a simple question, similar to the trolley problem. Dongle said it's kind of a trick question because I would save my kid from a fire over other kids, but that wouldn't reduce the humanity of the other kids. Right. So that's why it comes into, then you can add things like that. And let's say that it was one of, let's say you were going through IVF and one of the 20 fertilized fetuses was your fetus that was going to be implanted tomorrow. Well, then you might want to save the fetuses over the baby. It really depends. There's a lot of factors, and this is very similar to, this is a very similar thought experiment to the trolley problem. There is no right or wrong answer. It's just what you feel. You feel it and stuff. Are we talking about kicking babies in a burning building now? Maybe. You never know what's going to happen on the Indian Jesus here with our boy Morty. Guys, again, if you are new here, please do hit that subscribe button. I am live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. It is a good time. Let's dive right back in. Oh, we can't miss a rumble. Equality said, all things being equal, you save as much life as you can. Right, but again, in this situation, all you can do is either save the baby or the 20 fertilized fetuses. That is all you can do. You cannot, in this hypothetical, save both or all, regardless on depending on how you want to. Both options, I'll say. Claude says, in reality, the baby can be taken care of by normal people, but the eggs would require super science tech to care for. No, they wouldn't. You just need turkey baster. Squirt it right in there, and eggs naturally will attach to the uterus. Shout out to a red team go. Welcome to the party. Said our lovely lesbian governor over here in Oregon is back to her woke agenda with not calling Christmas. We're calling winter. This is not real. Is this really real? Winter Inclusive Observance Day? I'm not saying I don't believe you. I just need to see it for myself. Because that is ridiculous. We'll say Oregon winter. Oh, Jesus. Inclusive observance. There's no way. No, I don't want AI mode. I'm not seeing anything. Are we lying? That's not how you spell governor. What is this?
The city of Portland, Oregon had its
This is Portland's holiday kickoff was heavy on inclusivity, lights on Christmas cheer, red hot takes from the New York Post.
This week, not Christmas tree lighting, just the tree lighting. Everyone at the ceremony was careful to say, because of course Christmas would be exclusionary or something like that.
Oh, Jesus.
They brought in speakers, including a woman who said the holiday season is the perfect time to talk about genocide.
Sudan, Congo, Yemen, Lebanon, Haiti, all the oppressed people around the globe, we're all here together. And so I felt like this was a perfect time to put them up there and for your guys' prayers.
All right, let's take that Facebook link. Let's see what that is. Well, hold on. I want to dox myself. Let me what is this? What is this? Oh, there it is. All right, so I'm not. Is this gonna show me? Nothing. Okay, hold on 1 second. Just gotta do this. And move. And that. All right, and we'll copy the link. Put it right there. And I give you, thanks to, let me give a proper shout out to Red Team Go. It's real. It's real, guys. It's real. Kotek announces Christmas in Oregon will now be known as inclusive winter observance. That's so gay. Oh my God. Oh my. What else do you say? Oh my God. Like I said, I didn't say that I didn't believe you. I just needed to see it with my own goddamn eyes. Insane. Go back to the poll. Lone Wolf said, if the fertilized eggs become damaged on the way out, can we make them scrambled eggs? Hey, there you go. Well, I mean, ain't no different than any other cell at that point. That's all it is. Yep. You were right. What? Dead ass. Would it probably be wrong to cook the eggs in a fire with the burning baby, right? Well, yeah. I mean, you want to take the baby out first, and then just hope that the fire's on the other side, so that it gives you a nice little fried eggs type of consistency. It's festive. It's gay. It's gay. Walk said, it's kind of strange to pull up with like 40 pounds of weed in your car panels, and what? It's real, guys. It's real. Insane. I genuinely don't even know what to say. It's just very, very gay. I mean, right there with you. Welcome to the party. I'm over here in Jersey. Shout out to John Castle. Welcome to the party. John said, save the eggs. Easy for some, not others. Welcome to the party. Let's dive back in to the bar fight.
Just say, I had a natural birth. The question is, Do you really?
Okay, so if you're just joining us, so these guys are part of the panel. This is someone from the audience coming up to ask the question to the liberals, basically saying feminism said you need to be a boss babe, but I have a job and it wasn't that hard, and I just had a baby and it's fucking amazing, and lots of strength and independence in that.
Think that being a strong, independent woman is being a career woman who had a few abortions? Or is being a mother really feminist?
I'm really curious what you think liberals believe.
What was that sound? That is not a sound that comes out of a male. What?
Feminist.
I'm really curious what you think liberals believe. I'm very proud of you on your motherly journey, and I wish you the best. And I think it takes a lot of bravery and courage to be a mother and a lot of work, and it's a beautiful thing. And
you don't even believe that. You know that you don't believe it. You know that you're just saying that because you're in enemy territory. Come on, Luke. You're a bad liar.
A lot of bravery and courage to be a mother and a lot of work. And it's a beautiful thing.
It doesn't even sound like
liberals, at least correct liberals, don't believe that you shouldn't if you want to.
Correct liberals? There's correct liberals? Oh, like Box. But hey. Box has some bad ideas, but Box is, a correct liberal in many respects. But I don't know if he would say, Box, would you say Luke Beasley is a correct liberal? He got the broccoli haircut. Anyone under 25, this is what their hair looks like now. This is we had the swoop, and then the millennials we had the swoop in high school, and then we had the comb over with the cutout, and the Zoomers got this.
And liberals, at least correct liberals, don't believe that you shouldn't, if you want to, create the most beautiful thing, a family. What we believe is that you should have the choice and the freedom to do that, or to pursue a career, or to pursue a career for a while and have kids, or both. And that freedom is something that, I don't know where Michael specifically stands, but some people in his cohort don't like the idea of and want way more rigid enforcement. We want freedom.
So again, just not addressing the question. The question is, feminism says that you need to be a boss babe in order to make it in the corporate world, or make all this money, get the bag, da-da-da-da-da. But it seems to me that message is inverted. Not addressing that. I don't know what is wrong with these people and why they're unable to just answer, hear the words that come at their face and address those words.
Way more rigid enforcement. We want freedom. And I love that you became a mother. I love that you said you also achieved things in your career.
Guys, you're losing to the verticals again. There is right now 2 people over there, and they have more likes than the landscapers. I am very disappointed.
Want freedom, and I love that you became a mother. I love that you said you also achieved things in your career, and the choice for your own life path is what liberals believe in.
Thank you. Here's the only problem with that is that
that's what I'm saying, Box. He was saying the correct liberals, and so I would bestow that upon you more than any other liberal that I know. I don't know a lot of liberals, but would you consider Luke to be a correct liberal? Equality. It said, yeah, I'm not reading that one, Morga. Equality said, if I had 20 ovulating chicks on hand, then I'd agree. Fair enough. Morga said, let's include everyone except the normal people. Morga said, I make some high-pitched sounds too at times. But, that's when I don't even know what you're talking about, okay? I don't do that at all. All right, where are we at?
Own life path is what liberals believe in.
Thank you. Here's the only problem with that is that my Instagram feed calls it propaganda when other women promote being mothers.
That's because Instagram needs you to be upset and stay on the platform, so it shows you random nobodies.
Right. Even we all understand how the algorithms work, but they're not coming out of nowhere. And the point that she's making is that people are, in fact, making these videos, and these videos are, in fact, being viewed by people and are getting likes and comments. So, yeah. I'm all on board with the Twitter's not real life. Kind of sometimes it is, though.
That's because Instagram needs you to be upset and stay on the platform, so it shows you random nobodies who don't really represent the mainstream liberal view to get you upset, so you'll keep using their app.
Now, hold on, Luke. I'm glad that you're moderate and relatively reasonable as far as libs go. But
from now on, we need at least $2 for impression requests. All right, I mean, I'm not a dancing monkey up here.
Luke, I'm glad that you're moderate and relatively reasonable as far as libs go. But I think this is ignoring pretty widespread left-wing demonstrations that say shout your abortion. Okay. Planned Parenthood goes out so you can have as many abortions as you want or need. These are mainstream groups.
Exactly. He is yet again dodging what's actually being asked because he knows that the truth is not on his side. So what does he do? The only thing they can do is just shift around and move it to something else and Trump ad.
Articulate. If you actually look at people in positions of authority, obviously we have a very different stance on abortion, but about uplifting families and enhancing the child tax credit, Democrats stand for that. Republicans want to cut those programs. Pro-family. That's
hey, shout out to the Rage page with the $2. Thank you. So very, very much. You're supposed to put what you want me to say in the thing. Yeah, what? There you go. Thank you so much. So my deepest voice. All right, let's get deeper. Luke, I am your father. Does he actually not say that in the movie though? Isn't that like one of the biggest misnomers in all pop culture? Luke. That's from Tommy Boy. When he's got the fan, he's like, Luke. Can I do it? Luke, I am your father. That's right? Am I wrong? Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. Thank you. So very, very much shout out to the Rage page.
Grams. Pro-family. That's us.
Trump did just expand the child tax credit, but we'll get to that in some later topic. Okay, so who do you think won the first round? Now you can. I guess I don't even know what the questions really were.
Again, so we'll go for you guys to decide who won the first round. We need M for Michael or B for betas. Or should we just go L for liberal? Either way, who won?
Won the first round. Now you can. I guess I don't even know what the questions really were about. Is it?
Yes,
would you say? Do we get the blue for the libs, red for? Is it tie? Is it a tie?
It's only a tie because Luke agreed with Michael. So I think that's a win for Michael. Shout out again to the Rage page for the donation. Very much appreciated. What do we got here? We got M's in the chat.
I'm seeing more red if I'm being real. But that was a very reasonable answer by liberal standards. That was very good. Okay, who do we think the VIP questioner was? Who gets to go to the VIP table and drink delicious redneck Riviera bourbon? The mom gets it. The mom is going to drink 9 months worth of bourbon tonight, baby. Here we go. All right. Now, you know what I find
donuts
pairs very well with motherhood and bourbon? Delicious, Good Rancher's meat. Ready for round two?
Does it though? Come on, man. The mentally retardation is intensifying. Come on, brother. You know that ain't true. Just shot. Let's
go shot. Okay. Now we're going to read our topics. I have to urge my guests here. We'll try to stick to the topic, not some of the other. We'll try to stick to whichever one gets picked.
Yeah, don't just say whatever comes up, then Trump ad
is first.
All right. Claim 2 is that toxic masculinity is ruining young men.
I would like to have this discussion because of what I think she would say. And she would bring up a bunch of things that are not masculine, but things that men do or can do. And then she would act like that's toxic masculinity. And I would very easily be like, well, that's not masculine behavior. Thus, toxic masculinity is not ruining young men because it doesn't exist.
All right. That was a cheer from the most toxic man in this bar. Luke?
All right, my claim, too, is Republicans are much worse for the economy than Democrats. Everyone cheer real loud for that. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. My claim is that we should ban porn.
Ban P-Hub content. And Mr. Gooner over here is like, no!
We should ban porn.
No, please, I need my porn!
Oh, yeah, there we go. Wow, all right.
No.
Wow.
I don't care.
I don't know. There were cheers for the economy one. Is there, what do we got?
There was cheers across the board. What did it sound like up there? Because back here, I'm getting like two people
really
yelling
loud.
into it.
Mine was really loud.
It did kind of sound like the economy was the loudest one.
Wait, you guys remember
I've never been to a bar where the cheers are
toxic
economy.
masculinity? Toxic masculinity? Toxic masculinity.
Okay, so
Okay, so equality, back to Luke, I am your father. I am your father is in A New Hope, but it's not preceded by Luke, right? The Luke part is added in because of Tommy Boy. And then equality said, toxic masculinity is such a bullshit term. Yep. Good question. Or a good statement. Equality said, in order to ban P-Hub content, we must first define it. Interesting. Let's see. Actually, I want to see them have that conversation. I think that would be most interesting. What were you saying? Men, masculine men grow out of liberalism. Yep. Box is 14. It's okay. Yeah, no. Shout out to Jeremy. Welcome to the party with a good point. So let's ban all nudity in TV and movies too. Makes a good point. So we'll see what they pick. And then I'll put up a poll for that. But you do have to be, well, fuck it. I'll put it on both. Shout out to that vertical stream. Just because you guys have more likes than the regular stream, and there is 3 times as many people. So you get a poll. Let's see what they pick.
Because it's near Thanksgiving, and Luke said he would come to my Thanksgiving dinner, I will put my aside for a moment. We can talk about the economy. What's your argument?
All right, let's go. So I'm sure a bunch of people in this bar don't know this. I think everyone's worldview, our politics should be structured on just a rational approach to public policy. The most important issue in all of our lives is the economy. And almost all Americans, or probably a majority, misunderstand the records between Republicans and Democrats on the economy over the last century, Michael. And I'd like to hear you respond to this in a second. The last century, the economy has fared way better on GDP growth, unemployment, job growth, etc. All of the metrics you can find. The last century under Democrats compared to Republicans, even when you control for
under Democrat presidents, you mean?
No, even when you control for what about who was in the House, who was in the Senate, time and time again, Democratic administrations and better under unified Democratic government.
So always Democrats in the White House.
Democrats in the White House.
Yeah, okay.
The economy performs better over and over again. Recessions are way more likely to happen under Republicans. We're seeing this right now with Trump. A bunch of people voted for him to help their economic situation. And then he came in and implemented these insane and irrational tariffs on everyone in the world and penguins and is driving prices up and doesn't understand how tariffs work.
Tariffs were deflationary according to the San Francisco Fed last week.
Doesn't even know who pays the tariffs. So the clearest stat is that every single economist, conservative or not, says Democrats are better for the economy. You can even ask Grok and gives you the same answer. So I would like to ask you.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Well, if AI says it. So we did put the poll up on both streams. Shout out to the verticals for hitting that like button more than the landscapers. Democrats are worse for the economy than Republicans. Agree or disagree? Let me know.
Because it is, well, it's Elon's. Because even exactly, and Elon's AI now says like he has a sexy body or something, so it's pretty skewed. But I'd be curious to know, because Trump's landmark economic approach has been tariffs, and I know a lot of commentators who defend him have flip-flopped on it's just negotiating. It's not. It's not. You agree that he's completely lying when he says China pays the tariffs, right?
No, I think the tariffs have worked out relatively well because everyone predicted that the tariffs would be inflationary. The San Francisco
A nice little slide from Michael there, because the question was, China. He said China pays the tariffs. Yes, Trump did say that. What did he mean? That, oh, well, through the way that it works and the process and this and then that and then that, eventually, then they're going to be, we're going to be making money from that and all that stuff. But he did say that. He did say that. So let's see what's up in the chat. Yeah. Lone Wolf said Democrats are good for the economy. Does anyone believe that? 20% on the 20% on the horizontal stream, and everybody on the vertical stream. God damn. Maybe that one's from before. Lone Wolf said, ban P-Hub and legalize the toots. I'm right there with. Actually, no, I'm fine with P-Hub. I don't have a problem with it. I think that it is something that if an individual has an issue with it, then whatever. But the way that it is now, I mean, maybe in the Andrew Tate days, that's not necessarily an ideal thing, but they were still made choices. I don't know. I'm mostly libertarian at the end of the day. So, Rage Page says there's a difference in tasteful art and P-Hub content. Okay, what is that difference? Angry said art had nude display, so you can choose to go inside or not. You fucking statues, bro? I'm just kidding. Section said 99% of movies that put nudity do it because their plot is trash and they're too lazy to make a decent film. Facts. Lord of the Rings didn't need nudity, Cell. Facts. Almost so hypothetically, but not in reality. I'll assume you guys are talking to each other. Jeremy said, look at the data. Inflation's up, unemployment's up, we're losing jobs. Federal Reserve had to cut rates because of how bad the jobs were, which will cause more inflation. Trump added trillions to our debt. Yeah, that's how things work. You can't take money away from the debt when we're here. We've already got that shit behind us. Block said tariffs do get spread out, but we all pay them. Yes. And then section, the tariffs are paid by the country we put the tariff on, not the citizens. Well, again, and it's not that simple though. It's not like we have to pay out the money. It's just that the benefit. Again, going back to free trade, money is not the greatest thing. Money is only a resource to get what you want. Lowell said American citizens do not pay all of the tariffs. We have evidence of that from the 2016 to 2020, and even now. We got Waco Mine in the building. Welcome. We got some disagreement on who pays the tariffs. Adam said I disagree. We had nudity in the 70s, 80s, and they were some of the best movies. Name the best movie that has nudity in it. So a movie that has nudity, but is also a great movie and doesn't need the nudity to bring that in. And yep, short-term pain, long-term gain. All right, let's dive back in here.
The tariffs have worked out relatively well because everyone predicted that the tariffs would be inflationary. The San Francisco Fed just came out and said they were actually deflationary. We see that
Michael,
real wages are up.
You said you were going to stay on the topic. I asked.
You just asked me a question. You can't do that. You asked me a direct question. I respond.
Right, but you didn't answer that question.
I gave an answer to a different question.
Okay.
I asked you a specific question.
That was a total fake out. That was a total trick.
Who's paying the tariff?
You have to answer my question if I ask a question, Michael.
That was, man, how'd you do that to me? He could have asked me a question about so I'll answer the top because it's very this is one of those examples of lies, damn lies, and statistics.
All right, you're not gonna answer it. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Wait, do you want me to answer that question or do you want me to answer your broader question?
Well, you're just gonna say a bunch of
you just keep cutting me off whenever I answer what you ask.
You're about to say random stuff. Okay, go. Sorry.
Projection. You mean how on the last topic you didn't address anything that he said? So like Luke would have a point here if he wasn't doing the same exact thing. Quality said, let's define any content with Michael Knowles as being PM content. That if you're using that to wank, I don't want you anywhere near me. Quality said, Dems are worse for the economy, not even close. The Wolf of Wall Street is a Todd movie? What? Oh! Going back to the nudity thing. Wolf of Wall Street is a great movie with lots of high quality meat. Gangs in New York is a great movie with tits out. There you go. So maybe it ain't just about the titties. Maybe there is plot and titties together. Stripes. There you go. Section said tariffs are a tax on goods from other countries that they have to pay to sell their stuff here. So I'm stopping because I don't fully my understanding is that a tariff is meant to make it more expensive for the other country, and because the other country has to now, their stuff is more expensive because they added the tariff on. We do have to pay that tariff, but that stimulates the economy here. That was my understanding of it. So if I'm wrong, let me know. Shout out to Danny and Sue. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. Where am I at? All right, let's dive back in here. Welcome to the party, Dylan.
You just keep cutting me off whenever I answer what you ask.
You're about to say random stuff. Okay, go. Sorry.
Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah. After 10 p.m. on well, are you counting you say public TV? So does cable not HBO. I see Angry saying HBO. But like cable channels, what am I trying to think of? Comedy Central, I think. They would play movies after 10 that would have nudity. Is that I wouldn't even know what whether the rules or the norm of what's allowed on the airwaves. Okay, so yeah, then probably not. I've never heard of Blue TV. What is that? Sounds like some liberal bullshit. Like I said, the increase in cost of the imported product is then reflected in the price given to the consumer that they pay if they want the product. It's simple economics. Yeah, that's how I thought I understood it. But the fact that we are paying that is the short-term pain for the long-term gain that we build up manufacturing in America. Is that wrong? Yeah, so FX, that's all cable stuff. That's not public TV. Jeremy said the last two government shutdowns were under Trump, and he set records each time for how long those shutdowns were costing us billions each time. Why was the government shut down last time, though? What did Trump do wrong with the... Oh, it was the Democrats that shut the government down. Gotcha.
You just keep cutting me off whenever I answer what you ask.
You're about to say random stuff. Okay, go. Sorry.
Okay, do you want me to answer the broader question or the specific question you asked?
Hey, shout out to Quality and Deference because vagina. Thank you so very, very much. Of course, I can't reach both, brother. A treat for Morty. Thank you so very, very much. Getting us a little bit closer to that swole goal. And of course, adding to the Morty Memorial Fund. He is here. He is fine now, but that will not always be the case. And you guys are definitely helping me be able to memorialize my best friend in the world. Thank you so very, very much.
Okay, do you want me to answer the broader question or the specific question you asked about tariffs?
That Trump keeps lying, saying other countries pay the tariff, not the importers.
The way that tariff... Look, I am an importer because I have a great...
Again, Michael's dodging the question. He's acting as if Luke is asking him, how do the tariffs work? That's not what he is asking. Luke is asking, didn't Trump specifically say that China pays the tariffs? That is the question. He's not answering that question.
Countries pay the tariff, not the importers.
The way that tariffs...
So that's the question.
Look, I am an importer because I have a great cigar brand called Mayflower Cigars, and The cigars are made in Latin America. And so anyway, so I know the tariff issue all too well. And right now they're mostly being absorbed by the companies. They're not really being passed on to the consumers. And so this is why the tariffs, the San Francisco Fed just pointed out the tariffs were deflationary.
Well, you didn't answer. But we have seen prices. We saw a huge softening of price increases. Then Trump comes back in, reversed the trend. Food prices are back sharply increasing. Inflation's not bad at all. Inflation's around 3%.
Shout out again to all of the donations, guys. We are almost at $900 for Morty's memorial. That's 3 out of 15 super chats and $11 out of 50, guys. Do we not want Morty to get his special treat? Do you want me to be this puny forever? Look at this. This is pathetic. I need your help. 99 cents counts, guys. Thank you so very, very much.
They're back sharply increasing.
Inflation's not bad at all. Inflation's around 3%. Real wage growth is around 4 or 5%.
Because it was coming down.
Inflation?
It was coming down.
Inflation was 9% under Biden.
Coming down under Biden.
Shout out to Chad. Welcome to the party. So to someone who pays attention to the corporation I work for balance sheet, I assure you we raise prices to retain profits. Yeah, and I think that is a weird thing to... I think it's a weird thing to believe in the tariffs and then either be confidently explaining how they work incorrectly. Like I'm coming to you guys and saying I think it's like this because I'm not fully sure. And a lot of other people are saying conflicting things, but very confidently. So who's right? Who is right? Jared said if they removed the filibuster just like they did 2 times this year to pass bills, they could have reopened the government any time. That's not what I asked you, though. Not what I asked you. You wouldn't have had to do it if they didn't shut it down in the first place. Lone Wolf said Trump tariffs. He wants to hurt the consumer. Every other nation. They have good tariffs to help with their consumers. Again, it seems like a good thing to me. Maybe I'm stupid, but seems like it works to me. Jeremy said, just like we had 3 immigration bills that Trump killed so he could run on immigration instead of fixing the problem because he didn't want Biden fixing immigration. I don't agree with that part. Gas is definitely way down. Yep. Let's go back to Jeremy. Said this government shutdown. Trump did everything he possibly could to make sure SNAP wasn't funded. Good. Even telling states not to fund it just so he could blame Democrats. Do you see the pattern yet? Yeah, I see the pattern that he wants to do things that are actually good for America and not get cheers from the people who just don't know anything better. That's all I see. Shout out to the Squid Man Gaming. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. Liberty said, I work in logistics, so I actually understand how tariffs are paid. Tariffs increase the cost of the product for the importer, but there is a limit to what consumers will pay. It's simple. And yeah, so if right, but then, so aren't you saying then that there's a limit to what consumers will pay? And so if we raise the prices on foreign goods, then it makes the domestic goods comparatively look better. Isn't that the idea? Chad said tariffs by definition never help a consumer. Rather, it would be a domestic business. It help domestic businesses if used the right way. Well, that's what we want. We want to help businesses, domestic businesses, and not foreign businesses.
Inflation.
It was coming down.
Inflation was 9% under Biden.
Coming down under Biden.
COVID.
Coming down under Biden.
Hold on.
And then that's what Biden handed to Trump, and then Trump reversed the trend, and now it's going back up because of his policy.
No,
in Biden's case, it was because of the pandemic that Trump mishandled. Trump caused a bunch of inflationary things.
I have to clarify something. Are you asking me about Trump's handling of the economy or about your claim that in general the
we'll back that up in a second, but Liberty's saying we want jobs, not trinkets. That's the idea. That and again, short-term pain where we're paying higher prices for the trinkets, then that the demand it stays the same, and then the opportunity, the supply of work that can go on in America can now compete with Chinese labor prices.
Are you asking me about Trump's?
And then we buy American, and the Chinese go out of business, and we win.
handling of the economy or about your claim that in general the economy does better under Democrats or Republicans?
Oh, no, I made that point, and then I was giving you a different point about how Trump keeps lying. It's an economic point.
So hold on, are we going to...
So then you can't get mad at him for not answering your question when you sent him 2 different questions.
Stupid.
Debate the topic that
Michael,
I graciously let you do, or are we going to debate some other
I would love to hear you. Are you going to deny that for the last century?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone Google right now.
Okay, so you don't have to Google. I'm a human being. I can actually just give you the facts myself. So
lies.
So your point is that under Democrat administrations, the economy grows more, the GDP is higher. And so this is one example of lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Wage increases, unemployment. You just said.
Does he have Tourette's or something? Are we going to answer the question or not? Hold on, I'll try.
Okay, all right.
Look how red he just turned. Oh my God! Look how red he just turned. Oh, got called out. He's trying to get his little jabs in while Michael's talking, and Michael calls it right out and red as a beet. Vermilion, you might say. Carnal shame.
Example of lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Wage increases. Unemployment. You just said.
Does he have Tourette's or something? Are we going to answer the question or not? Hold on, I'll try.
Beet red.
All right.
Beet
Would you like
red.
me to answer or no? Are you afraid of my answer?
Keep going.
You're afraid of my answer. Okay. So this is true, but you would grant certainly that macroeconomic events also play a role in the economy, right?
Of course.
Okay. So the way that you arrive at those numbers, because GDP growth is a little bit higher under Democrat administrations than Republicans if you go back to, say, World War II or back through the 20th century. The reason for this is that you have a Democrat administration coming out of World War II. So this is a massitive global event that leaves the United States as one of the 2 main players. Will you be quiet
Even if you
while I
exclude
answer your question?
Why are you being so dishonest? Even if you exclude that. Shut up! Even if you just look at the last few presidents.
He's interrupting because he doesn't want the facts.
You're just
so as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. After World War II, you had a Democrat administration, so it inherits this massive growth in the economy because the United States is one of 2 superpowers left in the world. That starts to flip the numbers.
What the hell just happened? Jesus Christ! That's teratophobic, right? But yeah, again, Jeremy, I think you don't understand that, like, we are open about the fact that we don't want these subsidies for whether the SNAP or, the universal health care. Like, that's not a secret. We're not pretending that we don't want that. We're very openly saying we don't want that. We don't want that. Pay for your own shit.
In the economy because the United States is one of 2 superpowers left in the world. That starts to flip the numbers. Then you have, say, under the presidency of Ronald Reagan, you inherit in 1981 a massive recession. Now, Reagan was able to turn that around on GDP growth, on unemployment numbers, on inflation. He turns it around. It gives us the Reagan boom, sets up the next 25 years. Bill Clinton comes into office. He rides that all the way through a once-in-a-century technological revolution, which is the internet revolution. He rides it all the way up to the bursting of the dot-com bubble, which is saddled on George Bush's numbers, not on Bill Clinton's numbers. Furthermore, George Bush digs us out of that hole because of the 2003 tax cuts. But at the end of the Bush term, you had the global financial crisis. The global financial crisis that was set up mostly by 2 laws passed under Bill Clinton. The Community Reinvestment Act.
You understand that, like, that's a job, right? Do you say the same thing to your boss? Bro, like, you just give me money for, like, it's a job. I mean, you don't pay for shit, but, some of us are actually doing things here. It takes time to figure out what we're doing. It takes time to be able to entertain you, that you show up every single time. Are you off watching someone else? No, I'm giving you entertainment. Okay, so then when you pay employees, you're like, are you just panhandling? No, it's called a trade. So they do a thing for you, and you give them money. I give you entertainment, and you give me money. It's simple economics.
Global financial crisis that was set up mostly by 2 laws passed under Bill Clinton, the Community Reinvestment Act of 1995 and the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, which repealed Glass-Steagall, led to the global financial crisis. Now, obviously, Bush's numbers get pummeled by that. You get growth, especially because of the energy boom under Bush. Under Barack Obama, Donald Trump then comes in, cleans up some of Obama's mess, and passes more tax cuts that lead to long-term growth. So I grant to you, one second, let me finish my point.
Okay, that was way too long.
I grant to you that it is true that under Democrat administration,
Taxation is theft.
One second. It is true that under Democrat administrations, you can arrive at that statistic, but when you look at macroeconomic trends, you realize the statistics are
even
total
if you
lie.
control for specific economic crises, even if you do that, steady times without external factors, still, and you're citing tax cuts, which have failed.
What is GDP growth on average under the Democrats?
Now I'm going to go. And a great example of this is, and as I explained, everything you just went there was a fun history lesson and misses the point that I made, which is even analyses that exclude for
you made a broad
crises.
point, and I inserted facts into that, and then you said ignore those facts.
And then you're not hearing the facts that I'm saying. You just keep going off of regurgitate talking.
Yeah, but you're just pandering, bro. You're just like pandering or panhandling. Excuse me.
And then you said ignore those facts.
And then you're not hearing the facts that I'm saying. You just keep going off of regurgitate talking points. So
history matters.
Yeah, and history keeps proving that Democrats oversee better economic conditions. And then a really good example of this.
Yeah, so this is about the Democrats and the Republicans, which are better, right? And he specifically asked over the last 100 years. What is going on here? He specifically asked over the last 100 years. He's like, well, that was a fun history lesson, but you didn't say exactly what I wanted you to say, so.
Keeps proving that Democrats oversee better economic conditions. And then a really good example of this is that we had the whole pandemic collapse. Trump mismanaged a lot at the end of his presidency. The economy was in this chaos.
You're blaming Trump for COVID?
And then
for a Chinese virus?
His handling of it, just listen, and then you'll be able to hear it better.
I mean, depending on what we're talking about. Sometimes, when we're talking about government, definitely. Other places, maybe not so much.
Then
for a Chinese virus?
His handling of it, just listen, and then you'll be able to hear it better. And then he hands this crisis, obviously, to Biden, and then throughout Biden's
that's Waco. That's the slave owner
term. Every single economic analysis shows that we were outperforming every other nation in getting inflation down. The speed we brought it down because it was a global phenomenon. You're talking about macroeconomics. You'll never apply that to Biden's economics. And then the recovery in general across all economic metrics, Biden way outperformed both expectations and every other country in the G7. And none of y'all ever acknowledged that. And then he hands an economy that had job growth throughout his entire presidency. The last job loss month was at the end of Trump's term. He hands that to Trump, and lo and behold,
during COVID. I think you're kind of making my point.
Wait. The last point. No.
Right.
And then Trump loses jobs right when he gets back into office this term.
Here we go. Okay.
Hey, we got bat shit crazy in the building. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you. Another round done. Who do you think won?
Now, does Zina have a point? I would like Zina. Would you like to weigh in at all?
Hi, I'm here too.
She concurs.
A lot of what Luke said, I gotta agree with the other lib, but another point, I just
surprise, hive mind, straight out of pluribus.
Really want to get this question answered. Michael, who eats the tariff cost?
So tariffs are absorbed right now. It can be a number of people, but right now the tariffs are being absorbed by the companies.
Americans.
I know this because I'm one of them.
By Americans. Right.
Well, I'm an American. No. So yeah, but also by foreign companies.
By working class Americans, according to the CBO and according to the Federal Reserve.
No, the tariffs were deflationary according to the San Francisco Fed. Came out last week.
So it's really interesting because whenever you pull up a stat, it's directly contradictory to every big economist.
Which economist?
So again, we're talking about these big.
Which economists would you want to name?
I'm talking about the Congressional Budget Office.
Can you not name one of those economists you're referring to?
Mark Zandi, as well. Do you know who Mark Zandi is?
Mark Zandi. Tell me about Mark.
Mark Zandi explains how Trump's policy is not only expected to increase inflation another 1% next year.
Expected to. But we're talking about real costs right now.
Let me finich. Because you had a monologue already. So let me
answer to his silly point.
So let me answer to your point now. So Mark
not nearly as well as me.
Zandi, not only does he project inflation increasing, but it's already increased from before due to his tariffs, as well as the fact that he notes that these...
I'm not offended. I'm just addressing the fact that there's a difference between fucking panhandling on the street and not offering anything and offering something in response for money. Let's not also forget that I have another job. So I'm not offended. You're just wrong. It's okay to be wrong. You do it a lot, but you're just wrong.
increased from before due to his tariffs, as well as the fact that he notes that these tariffs are being majorly eaten by American because of the fact that our goods are being priced higher because corporations want to make up for the profit, right, that they're experiencing loss from because of the tariffs, right? Americans are...
And what does Bach say in direct response to that with a big 5? Thank you so very, very much. Oh, look how excited Morty is for that one. Oh, wait, we got to get him on the... Sorry, Verticals. Since we had a super chat over here. Did we have a super chat? We didn't have a super chat over here. But this is what you're missing out on by not donating to the Morty Memorial Fund. Oh, he loves it. Thank you so very, very much. Boxy Boy said, anyone know an all-American sourced and made shoe? I will pay more. I don't like sweatshops. I don't like kids making my clothes. So what you're saying is that if there was a shoe that was made in America and was slightly more money, you would pay for that because of the value that you see in American sourced and made. So then when you do that and then other people do that and that catches on and companies see, oh, people like this, isn't that the point of the tariffs? That's what I thought. Again, if I'm wrong, let me know, but nobody's been like, no, that's not right at all. Thank you very, very much. Let's dive back in.
Profit, right, that they're experiencing loss from because of the tariffs, right? Americans are, look at your grocery prices. Everyone here buys groceries, and you guys know that there's been a difference, right? This is due to tariff policy. It's always been inflationary, and majority of the biggest economic heads agree with this.
Unfortunately, the Federal Reserve disagrees. Okay,
that's not true.
So listen,
someone bring out Google, please.
Questions. Here we go. Questions. Enough of Luke. Questions.
Okay,
Enough
first,
of Luke.
peace be with you, Michael.
Thank you. Cum spiritu tuo.
So I think what all of this surrounds, and I'm going to go completely off topic, but it's all relevant.
I think that's the theme of the night.
Yeah. So I think there's 3 kinds of people in the world. I think there are people.
Shout out again, all of the donations, guys. We're almost at $900 for the Morty Memorial Fund. We are 4 out of 15 super chats, 99 cents counts, and $16 out of 50. Guys, let's get that goal.
Yeah. So I think there's 3 kinds of people in the world. I think there are people who believe in God and act in that way.
Who's speaking in the third person? Luke or Michael?
There's 3 kinds of people in the world. I think there are people who believe in God and act in that way. I think there are people who are atheistic and they don't follow God. And I think there are people who know God exists but are actively seeking to deprive the world of God because they're very small, but it's just the spirit of Cain. It's just like pure evil, and those people and they know that God exists, but they hate it and they want to take it from us. So
I'm just gonna say I'm sure a lot of you have similar ideas to this, but find a less weird way to express it, because that was weird. But before we go back to that, Liberty said, I actually think specialization has been the greatest contributor to human success next to free markets. I think trade is better than war. And hell yeah. I'll give that a dilly dilly. Hold on. Jeremy said Trump is banning immigration from all third world countries, taking away the ability to make better lives for people who need it the most. That's not his job. He's not the global leader of the world. He's the president of the United States of America. So he should be worried about the people who need it most in the United States of America. Other countries have other governments and other leaders for that purpose. If they're fucking up, then that sounds like a them problem. Until it becomes an us problem, then it's not our fucking problem. We cannot be the world police. I don't know how old you are, Jeremy, but like, are you familiar with the movie Team America World Police made by the South Park guys? America, fuck yeah! Like, that is a direct, and I mean, Matt and Trey Parker fucking libs, and still the notion of America being the world police is not good. It's not good. It creates more war. It is, you want to talk about driving up the fucking GDP. You want to talk about driving up the debt. War is the biggest way to do that. And you want to have your fingers in every country in the world. It doesn't work like that. Even if it did, I don't know that it should. Even if we could do that, I don't know that we should. All right, so let's back up. What was this guy saying again?
Because they're very small, but it's just pain. It's just like pure evil. And those people, and they know that God exists, but they hate it and they want to take it from us. So do you think a group like that could exist?
I do. I mean, there's the occult. So there are people who worship Satan, for instance. They're like witches and stuff. A lot of the times they are atheists. They're like edgy atheists who want to be really cool, and they end up inadvertently like worshiping the devil. So that's bad.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. He's right. He's right. He's right. And that is why you all need to subscribe to this channel and share the video so that I can be the new leader of the atheists and make them not so fucking pathetic and annoying and I will win. I just need your help.
They're like witches and stuff. A lot of the times they are atheists. They're like edgy atheists who want to be.
Is he wrong? Me and Box are atheists. We're not like that. But he's not wrong. I try. Like we said, Michael Knowles can't talk much about occultists. His boss will be big mad. Oh! Shout out to Benny Boy.
Like witches and stuff. A lot of the times they are atheists. They're like edgy atheists who want to be really cool, and they end up inadvertently like worshiping the devil. So
yeah, Jeremy, I completely agree with you. That's why I've talked about exactly those things and why I removed my MAGA hat from the frame.
Oh, that's bad.
Do you think any of those people have positions of authority then, I guess? Do you think that the occult has penetrated our systems of power? Occult, whatever you want to call it, just
I think
evil.
Trump,
I think that's the real word.
I think Trump is evil, and I think he took over the government.
I would love to respond to this, though.
Please.
I genuinely don't know if he was joking or not. Shout out to B. Hey, welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. This is Michael Knowles of the Daily Wire. Welcome. Chad said, inadvertently worship the devil is some cracked out shit to say. I think, when you got to remember that when you talk about the worshiping the devil and stuff, that's a very loaded way to just saying, well, they're not Christians. That's what he means. Behave sent a floating heart. I don't know what that is, but thank you so very, very much. What yeah, Behave, tell me what is that? I see that sometimes, but it doesn't, like, does it cost money, or is it just what is it? Because I mean, if you guys are paying, I obviously got to add it to the banner and the goal and all that stuff, but it's not saying anything. So let me know what the jewels and all that stuff are.
Evil, and I think he took over the government.
I would love to respond to this, though.
Please.
You're talking about something that is a lot bigger than the topics that we have discussing today, and you can call it God, you can call it spirit, or whatever you want to.
It's goodness.
But there is bad in this world.
Okay, hold up. Okay, so you paid for that. How much did you pay for that? And I don't understand why it doesn't show. And so then it's saying thumbs up for 10 joules. What is 10 joules? A joule balance? Do you guys see anything? I don't know. We got a bunch of numbers here. Likes, chat, revenue is 0 on that one. But I see it here. Here. So I don't know. Let me know how much. What's the deal with that, and we will make sure. So is it is it like the hype thing? Yeah, they don't fucking tell us this shit. Like it's just there, and I don't know what to do with it. And it's not adding. Usually, because like on the vertical or on the other stream here, then we got some other stuff from Rumble and stuff, but all of the chat revenue shows up, so it's a little confusing. But I guess let me know. Let me know how that all works, and like with the money and stuff, and we'll make sure that is. There you go. I just used jewels like this in my last debate where we were talking about hammering and how much and all that stuff. Once posted, you can give jewels to hype it up. Okay, I'll definitely. It costs more. Okay, so I'll thank you, Behave. I'll take a look into that, and very, very, very much appreciated. Let's dive back in here. Always a pleasure to see you here.
It's goodness.
But there is bad in this world, and what we notice is that a lot of bad corresponds with amassing huge amounts of power in places where a lot of people don't have similar amounts of power. In this country, 1% of the population has accumulated more than half of the wealth that exists in this entire population of over 300 million Americans. There are Americans that are starving, right, and have been starving and have existed in cycles of poverty for years and years and years that dates back to an era where people were enslaved and didn't have ownership of their work. The people who owned that capital.
You mean kind of like how there's illegal immigrants that don't actually have any paperwork for the work that they're doing, and you're fighting for that? You're pushing for that? Okay. Box said there's no starving Americans, and this is something that I think, ironically, I'm going to go in the other direction from you, because we often hear meth heads are not starving. They are the opposite of starving. But there was a viral Charlie Kirk clip, and other people have said a similar thing. But they're like, "Oh, people aren't starving in America. That's not happening." Okay, maybe people aren't keeling over from not having any nutrition at all, but there are definitely people who have food insecurity. And I think that without needing, that doesn't mean that we need to change how society works. It just means that we need to understand that there are situations where people who are on the government dole are on it for the right reasons, meaning the reasons we implemented, and not taking abusing it for the sake of free money. Shout out to the viewerski. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. And yep, absolutely a class issue. It's not left or right, not anymore. Definitely have an obesity problem. Box said SNAP recipients are overwhelmingly obese. We need to fix that. Bingo. You know how we can fix that is get rid of SNAP and go back to the way that paper stamps worked. Even if they're not actual paper stamps, you can use it on X, Y, and Z, because that's what you need to survive. And if you want to buy soda and candy and snacks, then you can use whatever money that you earn from your job or that you panhandle from your boss. I usually have a protein shake and a meal after the stream. That's how bad it. Yeah, Wick. There you go. Wick only. Shout out to Indie Boom. Welcome to the party. Said I built a deck for a guy a few years ago, and he paid me, but he doesn't let me on his deck anymore. What happened to the ownership of my labors? Well, in a perfect world, because of the fruits of the labor, that would be partially your deck. Psych! Lutch definitely needs to eat. But yeah, I mean, it's when you break it down to a very singular, simple, example like this, it's a little easier to understand. Chad said, don't forget that it's the corporations paying those illegal immigrants, the same ones getting tax cuts, then sending our jobs elsewhere and not raise our wages. Yeah, agreed. Which is why we need to get the to stop the flow of those immigrants. we don't have power over the corporations. We definitely have power over the border. Well, they used to be. TV said later tonight, I'm going to travel back in time and buy silver. Yeah, I heard silver is going through the roof. So this is not financial advice, but maybe go back in time and buy some silver. Box said I've been on both Snap and Wick. Wick tells you what you can buy, much more restrictive and limited. Anxiety is not a reason not to have a job. Yep, I got anxiety. I got 2 jobs. Adam said you can get my deck if we do it right. You won't fall off.
What? Haram!
Get a room, you two.
And didn't have ownership of their work. The people who owned that capital that came from that era have generations and lineages that are still in power and still exist in that 1% today.
So what do you think we should do? Should we just get rid of them?
Like,
what's your solution?
This is a really good solution. I think the solution does not lie. Well, this is where you've been calling me.
So you don't have a solution. So the solution is, well,
it's a really good solution.
I don't have a solution for this stuff, but I don't come out here and be like, guys, here's the solution. I'm just, trying to ask questions and learn just like everybody else.
Think we should do? Should we just get rid of them? What's your solution?
This is a really good solution. I think the solution does not lie. Well, this is where you've been calling me a lib this whole time. I hate to say it, but I think I might be a lib. No, not you. Sorry. I think Michael. You've been calling me a lib this whole time. I hate to break it to you. It might be a little bit worse than that.
What are you?
Isn't this what you asked when you came in? It's Michael Knowles. This is Michael Knowles. This is some chick named Zina, and this is just some other guy. But the broccoli haired dude on the right is Luke Beasley.
I think I might be a lib. No, not you. Sorry. I think Michael. You've been calling me a lib this whole time. I hate to break it to you. It might be a little bit worse than that.
What are you?
I mean, I would
commie! She's a fucking commie! She's a fucking commie!
Call myself a leftist, meaning that
tomato.
I believe that. Trust me, it's not. I believe that this problem lies.
Don't call a leftist a liberal. They do not like it. They do not like it. I literally just saw a video of some chick being like on the dating apps. They're like, well, what do you guys put under political? Because liberal, like, ew, and other, that seems maybe like you're trying to avoid that you like Trump or something. Like, Jesus Christ. How about you find people that you enjoy being around, and maybe, just maybe, the fact that you are not part of a hive mind will allow you guys to have interesting conversations and enjoy that time that you spend with each other. Crazy idea. I know. But that's how it's worked. Shout out to Silver. Lone Wolf said, libtards don't believe in borders, so we have to give Snap, etc. to the entire population of the world. Due process and whatnot. Is he wrong? Jeremy said, I'm an option trader for a living, made a killing off gold and silver because of Trump creating all this crazy volatility. 10x my options because of Trump crashing the market on Liberation Day. Well, what are you crying about then? There you go. Dilly to Trump. Let's go. Making Americans rich every goddamn day. There you go.
That
tomato.
I believe that. Trust me, it's not. I believe that this problem lies beyond party bounds, and it's bigger than that. And I think that this is a problem that has to do with class inequality, that breeds race inequality, that breeds gender inequality. All these things come from the same source, and that is drastic power imbalance. So I completely agree with you. And I think that this problem has nothing to do with red or blue. So I think it has to do with becoming conscious of this fact and banding together. This has to do with all of us. This has nothing to do with red and blue.
Great point. And it is weird that I know a lot of people support Trump thinking that it's because you're populist or he's going to be good for the working class. I don't want to spoil what my next claim is, but
you love spoiling the claims because you keep changing the topic every time we speak.
It is weird because Trump and her point about the top 1%, it's not that people can't do well, but Trump in a time of record income inequality just passed something that gives $1 trillion just to the top 1% in tax breaks while taking $1 trillion out of Medicaid, that's not a pro-working class, pro-average American populist thing to do. He's serving the elites, the same billionaires who were all around him at his inauguration. He is their president. And anyone in this audience who still supports him after him screwing you over and taking your money to give it to wealthy people, you're being duped badly.
Yeah, that's where
jobs, baby, jobs.
Massive tax cuts also for working class Americans who voted for Trump in the majority. Next
the
question.
poorest Americans lose money and the richest gain in that bill.
Yeah, so I've had a couple drinks, so I'm going to keep things high level, not as deep
Let's
as last time.
That's good. That's
and
good.
I also find common sense questions tend to be the left's kryptonite. I find myself a common sense individual, which is why I vote Republican.
Every time he opens his mouth, I cannot stand it. But I like what Boggs said. Might often makes right. It don't make it moral, though. I like it. And yeah, we're halfway there, Boggs. The jobs and the houses. We're halfway there. You know who can give jobs? People who can afford to pay, the panhandlers that are out here doing the work. They need to get paid by somebody. And he said, how much you want to bet this guy is making up statistics? No, I don't think he, because remember, this is where these people live. I bet you he would have, before he would make up statistics, he would find he would spend 7 days searching for some way to misconstrue statistics that are already there that don't actually say what he's trying to say, and then express it like that. So, hey, gotta give credit where it's due. These liberals, they memorize numbers really well. TikTok brain in clothes. Yup. Shout out to 3 Knowles, 6 pencils. Welcome. Said even gayer than Ben Shapiro. Oh, the fall from grace. Welcome to the party. Let's dive back in, y'all.
I vote Republican. My question is, you've said 2 things tonight. One, you couldn't go 3 seconds without saying no kings earlier tonight. And you just brought it up again where you said Trump's evil and took over the government. I find this very ironic and comical because
if he did that, then you wouldn't be saying what you were saying, because you'd be afraid that your king is going to be like, off with his head. But you know that you live in a free country with free speech.
the left tends to just want to continue to give government more power and more power and more power, and basically just ask them what they should do with their life and how to pay for it. And you see that with the New York City vote that just happened. And I guess I just want to know where the common sense is coming from on, you can say no kings to Trump, who if he was a king, he wouldn't know, he would have just waved the wand and there would have been no government shutdown. And at the same time, ask the government to be bigger and bigger and bigger and solve all your problems for you.
Yeah, so Trump keeps expanding the power of the government too. I mean, he's the most authoritarian president we had in a really long time. So you don't really care.
I missed that. I was reading this. Liberty said the left literally views the presidency as kingship. They want the government to magically change prices. Well, the other side of that is that when they see that, because they just see the presidency as kingship, and then when they get power, that's how they want to utilize it. And so then when we being, just normal people, have the mandate to say, no, we want Trump back to do all the things that he promised to do, whether he actually does them the way that he said he does or not, then they're like, oh no, it's so horrible. But meanwhile, executive order after executive order after executive order, that's with an auto fucking pen. That's not a kingship. I mean, what do you even say? Exactly. They love kings. And everyone said, again, Trump is not expanding the presidency, and he is not the most authoritarian president we've had. Yup.
The most authoritarian president we had in a really long time. So you don't really care.
I don't think anybody here would say that Trump is perfect. I don't think anybody here is of the mindset that any politician is going to be better than what we expect from a politician. In the beginning, Trump superseded that by a little bit, and now I agree with you that he's just become another politician. But in that realm of politicians, there's better and worse. There's a spectrum of better politicians and worse politicians. And in terms of the way that my life and the people that I care about, namely my countrymen, have seen their lives improve, and then, what's the opposite of improve? Not deprove. What's that? I feel stupid today. But anyway, get worse under Biden and all that stuff. I see that. And I want that. So it doesn't matter that he's not perfect. Behave said Trump is the best president I've ever had. He's going after Ilhan Omar for fraud. She's a brotherfucker who laundered over $1 billion. And this is what I was saying earlier, that, like, yes, there's a lot of negative things we could say about Trump, but that has a lot to do with how much scrutiny he's under. Decline. There you go. Thank you. I don't know why. That's the second time today. My brain is just not working. But yeah, the fact of the matter is that we had an election. We won the popular vote. It's not a question. It's not a question. The conversation now is, okay, how well is he sticking to that? Because no matter what, we know that Kamala Harris would have been worse. Okay, we don't know, but we know. Larry said, I'm financially fucked after being unable to find a job. I'm not Indian. Indian people in Canada only hire other Indians. Now there's no jobs for white people. No lie. In so much debt, I can't sleep. Good job, Canada. Good job, Canada. Box said, the right tried to look up and found Trump. The left tried to look up and found Biden. Again, I agree, both suck, but if we're comparing, then Trump is infinitely better than Biden. Infinitely. TV Viewerski said, if someone shot at me, I'd be way more authoritarian than Trump. Yeah. Even before that. Again, just the scrutiny itself, just the lawfare itself. And yet, he's expected to be, the nicest. Like, come on. It's just, it's just, there's no grounding to what you're saying other than, well, Trump bad. Okay. Politician bad. That's what it means to be a politician. That you're willing to sell yourself to whoever is going to support you. That's what it is. Shout out to Colby. Welcome to the party. Said Trump actually believes in states' rights. He wants the federal government to not have to step in and states handle themselves in a lot of categories. Like the Constitution. Shout out to Tom. Welcome. Said, I wish Trump could replace Keir Starmer over here. I'm not familiar. Who's Keir Starmer? I've definitely heard the name. Keir Starmer. Oh, Prime Minister of the UK. Keir Starmer. And hey, they're saying they'll take Trump over him. And I don't blame you. Welcome to the party. Holy shit. What is this? Yo, bum chick. Mom, Daddy, Trump 2028. I feel like if you took the best parts, no, I don't know about that. But welcome to the party. TV said, I don't go into Elon's district anymore. I wouldn't either, and I'm brown. I could pretend I could be in there, but yeah. Shout out to Bugs with another $5. Thank you. So very, very much out sponsoring himself. We get a let me get the for the verticals. Even though you guys have donated nothing. Look at it. Oh, look at it. Just eat it, bro. What are you doing? There we go. Thank you. So very, very much. And of course, Box, that makes you the new sole sponsor of of the stream. Very, very much appreciated, sir. Let's dive right back in.
And solve all your problems for you.
Yeah, so Trump keeps expanding the power of the government too. I mean, he's the most authoritarian president we've had in a really long time. So you don't really care. Yeah, I'm about to explain it. Bill. Okay. Sending in, you just asked how.
Fair.
Sending in the military, for example, to American streets. But where's the common sense? I can tell you where the common sense is. I think we should be allocating our resources to uplifting and economic stimulus, which is why the economy performs better under Democrats, despite the whole monologue that Michael went on.
The history lesson he called it.
If we lean into demand side, which you had to come up with like 100 excuses for why Republicans always fail in the economy, but demand side economics.
100? Name 3. Name 3. Shout out again to Box, our new sponsor of the stream. Said Indian caste culture has no place in American culture. Agreed. Individual liberty based on the fact that you are a citizen. From there, it's about merit, baby. It's about merit. What else we got? Liberty said, it's so weird seeing an Indian caste system imported into a Commonwealth country. I mean, it's better than Sharia, but yeah. We again, guys, we are definitely gonna, regardless of our beliefs, once the Sharia jihadists come, we are all on the same team. We are all on the same team. Trump is a socialist and so small time. All right. Rage Page said Andrew Wilson, Steven Crowder. No, thank you. No, thank you. Morty. Ron Paul. There we go. I wish Rand Paul had a little more of that oomph that Ron had. And like, I wasn't paying attention at the time, but you know, I've seen speeches and stuff from Ron Paul when he was in his heyday, and it's just it's not the same. I love Rand Paul, but I don't think he could carry an election like that. Has he ran before? He's definitely ran like in the primaries, but like he didn't, right? He's run in primaries before, right? Like for the presidency. Behave said Trump is my sugar daddy. Isn't it funny how the media shut the fuck up about the Epstein files? It's because they colluded with the PDF and Trump is innocent. That's what people keep saying, but then why the fuck is he so, like, oh, I don't want to talk about that. Why do you guys even care about that? Only gay people care about that. I don't know, man. It's a little sus. Talking to each other. Oh, Chad with the big 5. Thank you. So very, very much. Let's get Morty his treat. I'll pull this down. I'm going to get Morty his treat. Thank you. So very, very much for the verticals. Always love it. Thank you. So very, very much. Chad said, sending a military into our streets. Unilateral Venezuela strikes. 217 executive orders this year to Biden's 162 over 4 years. Iran strikes. He is authoritarian. So I don't agree that so I think that sending military into our streets is justified with Venezuela. Don't love it, but it's not clear that that he's wrong. I definitely think that we could be going about it in a little bit of a better way. 217 executive orders. Again, this is a trend that we see, and in the same way that adding more money to the budget or to the debt every year, you're going to see more and more executive orders every year or every president, because that is a precedent that has been set by our boy Obama. So thank you very much for the $5, but I do have to respectfully disagree. Oh my goodness. Again. Bucks with the big 5. Thank you so very, very much. Said, this is the first time I saw this kid. It's like watching a friend flub it with a lady right in front of you. You want to help, but it won't help. That's your team, bro. That's your team. I'm sorry, but that's your team. Thank you so very, very much, both of you. And of course, Box out-sponsoring himself. Very, very much appreciated. Let's dive back in here and let me update this banner. You guys are being so generous. Very, very, very much appreciated. I didn't even have to warn you that we're coming up on the 2.5 hour mark. We keep the party raging because you guys are amazing.
They come up with like 100 excuses for why Republicans always fail in the economy. But demand side economics, where you actually invest where people are going to spend that dollar the quickest through social programs, people need it instead of just keeping it in an account somewhere. That's actually dollar for dollar way more stimulative. So I think instead of huge tax breaks to the top 1%, I think that we should be allocating those resources to, at the very least, not taking away healthcare from 16 million Americans. So I mean, that would be pretty common sense to me.
Or just funneling it overseas to random non-government organizations, right?
So, but what does that have to do with? Are you okay with millions of poor Americans losing their health coverage because they wanted to give tax breaks to the top 1%?
Of course not.
No, I don't think that.
Well, then we agree. And Trump's bill is
happened.
insane for that. Then we agree. That's awesome.
No, I think there's common sense things you can do with every dollar Americans pay.
Giving it in the form of more tax breaks to the top 1% when they're richer than ever doesn't seem very common sense.
Hey, Luke, is it the top 1%
The cool
that
thing is, I
benefits
think
from
we
no
agree
tax
on
on
that.
tips?
Like, there's probably a lot
No
of
tax
social
on
things
overtime?
there's a lot of things we disagree.
Shout out to Legend. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. So Jesus loves you. He's got plans for you way beyond today. Well, if so, then sounds good to me. Welcome to the party. Angry RPT said, if Trump is on the list, why didn't Biden release? My only question. And the obvious answer is because there's a lot of people in Biden's circle that would also be implicated. But I think there is, and I do think that there's, again, I am, it would take a lot to convince me that there isn't something worth knowing, worth paying attention to, worth being aware of that changed Trump's attitude on releasing the files from before the election and after the election. It changed. I'm not even venturing a guess as to what did happen or didn't happen. I'm saying his attitude changed, and I want to know why. I want to know why. Kind of did, though. I mean, I think it's sus that he's like, yeah, okay, we can get it, but we got to block out anything important. You know? Any film said Rand Paul has run for president before. We need Thomas Massey, Rand Paul, and J.D. Vance, the KY jelly ticket. I ain't mad at it. I would vote for any combination of Massey, Paul, and Vance. I would vote for that. I'd rather Massey and Paul. That would be dope. That would be dope. Like we said, CNN would skip over Ron Paul's name. Candidate A in the first, candidate candidate A in first, candidate B in second, candidate D in fourth. Ron Paul was the chosen candidate of the U.S. service members. Yeah, I mean, that's a real American. Developed not only neuroplasticity, but nerve plasticity. It's really interesting. If Trump brought in libertarians instead of Democrats, it would have been way better. But you can take the man out of the party, but you can't take the party out of the man. Yeah, I mean, he's an elite New York Democrat. He always has been. What does it say about our Republican Party that an elite liberal Democrat was a better Republican than all the Republicans? I don't know, but if Trump ran as their VP, he would lose. The left would lose their mind. Yeah, but I'm over it. I'm over Trump. I'm so over Trump, especially that he's become this version of Trump. If he was still the 2016 Trump, I'd be like, third term, let's go. He's not that guy. Jeremy said, if you live in Texas, they are already warning about energy problems during the winter again because of the giant AI data center and the influx of people moving here. The infrastructure can't keep up. Well, maybe if they kept up the infrastructure where the people came from, then they wouldn't be such an influx to Austin. It's not like people are moving for no reason, right? Liberty said Epstein was a Mossad agent. He's still alive. That means Israel has all the dirt. They can't release anything or they go down too. And that's it's got to be something like that. I'm not going to claim that I know that that's it. but it's got to be something like that. And guarantee I'm sure someone on the list is paying Trump to change his mind, and money talks. Either one. Equally probable. I don't know. Something happened. You got people like Prince Andrew, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, real money on the list. I mean, and again, even if we did have all the names, again, I definitely don't think that we would get a huge number of convictions or anything like that. But I think it's important for us to know those things. That if there's if your governor turned out to be on the list, your senator turned out to be, at the very least, you're not voting for him next time around, right? Is that too much to ask for? Is that really too much to ask for? I don't think so.
The top 1%.
The cool thing is, I think we agree on that.
Tips.
Like, there's probably a lot of social things
overtime.
There's a lot of things we disagree on.
Child
the
tax
cool thing is,
credit,
I think on reining in the power of the elites, we should all agree. You're listening about
where I disagree is I don't think you have the qualifications
but I'm not even
or
referring
me
to that yet.
to talk
I'm saying
about
if you,
fiscal policy
do you know,
at all.
Do you know the combined? Wait, what'd you say? Sorry.
He said you too stupid.
I'm not even referring to elites. We should all agree. You're listening about
where I disagree is I don't think you have the qualifications
but I'm not even
or
referring
me
to that yet.
to talk
I'm saying
about
if you,
fiscal policy
do you know,
at all.
Do you know the combined? Wait, what'd you say? Sorry.
Where we disagree is I don't think I have the qualifications or credentials or you to talk about fiscal policy at all.
And you think Trump does? He thinks the word
I agree.
groceries.
Luke doesn't have the I agree with that. Yeah.
He thinks groceries is like a new word that he invented. Yeah.
He thinks that groceries is a new word that he invented.
Stupid.
This little boy literally just said that out loud into a microphone on stage with cameras recording it.
I agree with that. Yeah.
He thinks groceries is like a new word that he invented.
Stupid.
I bet he thought when I was rocking around those two brain cells, he was like, "Oh, I'm about to cook, bro. I'm about to cook." And then
I agree. Luke doesn't have the I agree with that. Yeah.
He thinks groceries is like a new word that he invented. Yeah.
Crickets. Okay, next question.
That's not true.
My question for Michael is, what watch are you wearing this evening?
It's an ad.
Now listen.
Maybe.
Listen. I'm an author. I am a best-selling author of 2 books, one that doesn't have any words in it called Reasons to Vote for Democrats. Hold on. I gotta explain it. Reasons to Vote for Democrats.
Remember the 6 months where every Tim Pool super chat was about this book?
Which it's entirely made of blank pages, and I sold a lot of copies. And my thesis is being proven very strong tonight, I think. Then I wrote another book with words that was due on the same day as my baby. And because of the great sale, because
It is a bar. And the first guy explicitly said he's been drinking. And I see a bunch of drinks on the table. So I'm going to assume yes.
With words that was due on the same day as my baby. And because of the great sale, because Democrats sold so many books for me, and because of the great Trump economy in 2021, I'm wearing a Rolex Datejust.
Very nice.
I didn't see this before, Jeremy, but yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree, but that's the reason. So people are moving to Texas because Texas at least was doing it right. They didn't expect the rest of the fucking country to be so shitty that everybody would want to flee to Texas. So I agree with you here, but you're blaming Texas for something that's not Texas' fault.
So to be clear, while millions of low-income Americans are losing their health coverage because of Trump's bill, he's getting a lot richer because of that same
Illegal aliens might be losing their health coverage, but other Americans are
That's not true.
Real Americans are not.
16 million.
Next question.
Wait, Michael.
Enough from you.
Lie.
Next question. Let's go.
12 million American citizens.
He's like, nope. I'm sticking with it. A big shout out again to Box, who brought us up to over $900 for the Morty Memorial. He is still alive and well, but like we said, we just went to the vet last week, and he's not going to be here forever. So I really, really, really do appreciate you guys help me make sure that when that day does come, that I'll be able to memorialize him the way he deserves. Thank you so very, very much.
Notice how he can't answer those points.
He loves the word alien.
Hey, hello, everyone. Thanks so much for taking all of our questions and for having so many interesting things to talk about. But in all of the complexity of conversation, nobody has asked directly, what is capitalism? And can you explain the differences between Democrats and Republican thinking?
Yup. MAGA is bigger than Trump. Bingo. MAGA is bigger than Trump. MAGA needs to leave Trump behind.
I want to go.
Zina.
This is my thing. Everybody.
Wait, sorry, I lost the question. What was the question?
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for taking all of our questions and for having so many interesting things to talk about. But in all of the complexity of conversation, nobody has asked directly, what is capitalism? And can you explain the differences between Democrats and Republican thinking?
I want to go.
Zina.
This is my thing. Everybody. Capitalism is an economic system in which the means of production are owned.
Bad. It's bad. It's a means of economic system that's bad.
Everybody. Capitalism is an economic system in which the means of production are owned privately. Think of means of production as factories, as land, as the things that we use to create, it's capital, right? The things that we use to create capital. These things, this means of production are owned by a very small few. Not many people own the means of production. Most of us are selling our labor. Like, for example, most of you guys have a 9-to-5 that you
out here fucking panhandling and shit. Hey, a shout out to Indie Film. Oh my goodness. 29 months. Oh my goodness. 29 months. That's over 2 goddamn years. Thank you so very, very much for being here, brother. No guilt necessary. I mean, you can send me a little something if you want. But no guilt necessary. Thank you.
Most of us are selling.
I got between the two, I got 2 24/7s. I got 2 24/7s. So come at me.
A very small few. Not many people own the means of production. Most of us are selling our labor. Like, for example, most of you guys have a 9-to-5 that you go and you get a kind of a wage back, right? From capitalists, those who own means of production. The problem is we assume that people who own the means of production earn that somehow, when really the people who did first acclaim the majority of these resources, it happened a long time ago and they kept passing it down generations. The problem is people who first came here, they did a lot of bad stuff. They took a lot of land and their ancestors still own that land.
They were heroes.
The people who slaughtered and a bunch of people and then took all their land and then started profiting off of it.
Yes, that is how the world works. Do you like the society in which you live? Well, it doesn't just come about by magic. There was no such place as America in 2025. That didn't exist. And so people had to make it exist. And a lot of other people didn't want it to exist. So fighting was involved. And now you get to sit here behind a microphone and cry about it while you experience all the benefits. The irony. And then you'll turn around to someone like Luke and be like, well, you're not a white supremacist, but you're benefiting from a white supremacist country. Like, there's no consistency in these people. There's no consistency. Colby said the problem isn't capitalism, it's corruption. I agree, our current system is broken. But we also are not a free market right now. It's oligarchy capitalism. Bingo. Yep. Liberty says, most of you have a 9-to-5. So basically, this privileged black girl is going to lecture a bunch of hardworking Americans. Wow, what a bitch. Bingo. Yep. Shout out to Chaos for you. Welcome to the party. So the people who were here before were doing the exact same thing. It is these people that created a place where that isn't happening. No, not that we don't have crime and issues and such. But that's nature. It's just how it works. There's no other way around it. She better not be speaking about me. I'd rather this society over a cannibalistic ancestral society. Bingo. Exactly. Yep. Probably.
People who slaughtered and a bunch of people and then took all their land and then started profiting off of it and then also selling people's labor and their livelihoods for money. Those are heroes. Interesting point.
The Indians slaughtered a lot of people too, if we're being totally honest about it.
Do you want to compare numbers? I don't think that it would look good, right?
Yeah, because there wasn't that many of them because they weren't that good at civilization.
Well, we won the wars.
Yeah, you won the war by doing what, Michael?
Well, by settling the land and building a great country that you live in and that you prosper.
By taking land that people were already living on, by killing them, spreading diseases towards them, and also women. So, yeah.
Where'd you get that from?
Happened all the time.
I have a question to your point.
That's what capitalism is.
I have a question to your point.
Republicans and Democrats both support capitalism, right? Of course. But capitalism is a system that is exceedingly failing as the gap between us and the 1% and people who own all this capital continues to increase. What's going to happen, especially as AI comes along that continues to be able to do your job, is that 1% of the population is going to own all that AI that can do your jobs. And what happens then when they can create the labor and
Chad said, why is it a bad thing that we want to consider our recent past in our economic and political system? I don't think it is a problem. I don't think it is a bad thing. I think what is a bad thing is pretending that that things that are undesirable in the past and perhaps were necessary, judging them on standards with the society that we already have. Acting like we could have just, had marches with the fucking with the Indians, and they would be like, "Oh, okay, perfect." And we couldn't have had America, or we could have just, marched in England. And then I'm like, okay, well, why don't you guys go over to the New World? Like, that ain't it. That ain't it. Bullshit. That's the last free one I'm giving. I wasn't thinking about it. That's the last free one I'm giving. $2 for any $2 for any attempt at a impersonation. Chaos said, anti-capitalist. You go, whoa. Someone has more than me. Wow. Yup. She's filling up. Her jewelry is worth more than her car. Oh, I bet not. That's all costume jewelry. All costume. Look at that shit. That ain't real. I mean, this is just fucking, sterling silver. This is wrapped up in rope bullshit. Nah. Colby said the Indians killed a lot of other Indians. There were warring tribes and nomadic tribes that were always moving to escape the warring tribes. Yeah, bad at civilization. And we did better. There is a reason. Indeed. Larry said Michael Knowles sucks because to him, this is capitalism. The Daily Wire is everything wrong with Republicans these days. They are the dummies who don't know why Mom Donnie won. Ooh! I did not dilute that. Oh, yow. Facts, brother. Facts.
To own all that AI that can do your jobs. And what happens then when they can create the labor and supply it for themselves?
Okay, Zina, I have a question for your point. So you say that capitalism is where the means of production are owned privately. Yes. I agree with that. And you say that a very, very small number of people own the means of production. Yeah. So my question to you is, how many Americans invest in the stock market?
No, how many Americans have the means to invest in the stock market? How many Americans have
an answer, I promise.
To invest in the stock market?
Wait a minute. I have some crypto, but I'm not really into I'm not a big investor guy. But you could just buy 50 cents worth of a stock, right? That's how it works with crypto. You can definitely afford to put in 99 cents into whatever. That's owning. That's owning part of the company.
In the stock market, how many Americans have
there is an answer, I promise.
You know what that means? That means she's probably a well-to-do liberal who doesn't understand anything about being a real person.
That's in the stock market.
What's the answer?
Majority of the Americans are broke.
What is the answer? What percentage of Americans invest in the stock market?
Not many, because
62%. So most Americans own the means of production.
62%. Not including me, but 62%. There you go. I'd even say before that. Because Charlie Kirk really did change the game. He really did. Yeah. I did spend some on something that I don't want to talk about, but yeah, maybe I'll get back into it. I do have some meme coins. I got a little bit of Doge, but I try to stick with the basics. I have Bitcoin. I have Cardano, Solana, and there's one other one that I forget. I don't even look at this shit. I don't even look at it that often. Let's see. Where is Bitcoin right now? Right now. Wait, let's just show you guys. It's only like I'm on a computer. Current. So we are right now at damn, under 100. Whoo! When's the last time we were over 100? Jesus Christ! Oh, this is that one day. I was like, what the hell? So damn, it's been under 100 for 2 weeks. This looks like, and it looks like it's gonna go further. This is higher than this. So maybe. Wait a little bit and then buy more Bitcoin. But yeah, stay away from them meme coins. Unless you know what you know, unless you're part of the rug pull, don't even bother. Liberty Plus TV said they think Mom Donnie won because he's anti-Semitic and the real threat is Islam. When in reality, the threat is socialism. And he won because people are people are paying $6,000 a month for a hike in the wall? What? I don't know what that means. For a hike in the wall? Sorry, I don't know. I did not know that was a thing, but nobody got Donald Trump coin? Colby said, like I said last week, we were talking about food stamps. If you took all the money you spent on Coca-Cola and bought Coca-Cola stock, you'd have a nice investment account. Indeed. No, yep, I did not. No, I don't know anybody who bought fucking Trump coin. If you bought Trump coin, then you're fucking stupid. I'm sorry. You're fucking stupid. Yeah, this is this month. We're up at, not all-time highs at 110, but, this is 120. And now, god damn, yeah, this is still going down. This dip is, ooh, we gonna be rich, baby. Ooh, let's go. It's, yeah, that's what yeah. I should set that up. Set that up because I'm gonna forget and it's gonna go back up. I'm gonna be like, god damn it, you guys told me and I fucking forgot. Where are we at? What else you guys saying? Oh, hey, congratulations. 60K, god damn. That's a lot of money. Yeah, everyone knew Trump coin was a scam. I mean, some people obviously didn't, but we call those people QAnon, and we don't pay attention to them. The TV said Bitcoin is not behaving like gold. Just saying. Say more. I'm not smart enough to know what that means. Jeremy said even if you want to buy Bitcoin instead of buying that, you can buy a 2x leverage ETF of Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin goes up 10%, that ETF will go up 20%. Can even buy options which have a 100x multiplier. Yeah, I'm more of a hodl kind of dude. Again, I know, and like when I started, because it was COVID when I, No, you didn't. Please tell me you didn't. Please tell me you just bought it as a joke. But yeah, I know, right? When I first got in, it was during COVID when they were just fucking giving away money, and I was like, okay, so either. And it was also at that time where somebody it was the first time I heard somebody actually articulate that if you have money in a bank account, then because of inflation, that money is just evaporating. And nobody ever put it to me like that. And once I understood that, I was like, oh, fuck. Not a lot of money, but all of my money is in my savings account. I should do something with it. And at that time, I was big into UFC. And so I was like, I mean, I've been doing pretty good with my fight picks. Maybe I should get into sports betting. I was either going to do that or get into Bitcoin. And I'm very, 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 very glad I chose the latter. Because, unfortunately, I bought it like, so, where are we? Let's look at 5 years. So, it was probably right here. No, where are we? 2020. 30. So, yeah, it was right around here. It was probably the last peak. Yep, in late May. I was probably right here. 58 the next day. Just boo! And just stayed down for a little bump back up to where it was when I was even. And then for the next 4 years, it was just like, oh my God, no. Well, okay, wait, what's happening here? Oh my God, we hit 100K. Oh my God, we're back up 100, and now we got a nice little dip here. But I mean, look at the difference. You know, this looks catastrophic if you go to the last 5 days. You know, solid, and then just, but you know what they say: when in doubt, zoom out. So we go 5 days to a month. Now, okay, still not looking good. But 6 months, still not looking great. But like, okay, year to date, which has been essentially the same as the full year. Let's just do the full year, and we can see a little bit down. But zooming out 5 years, like we up, baby. We making money. But yeah, it was a matter of, look, I am not going to let this money just evaporate with all the money printer go burr. And I'll continue the story after I shout out the Rage Page with a $1 make you holla. Thank you so very, very much. Keeping the party raging. And of course, a treat for Morty. Thank you. I think I was saying something interesting, but I don't remember what it was. So I'm going to come back to that. Let's dive right back in. Thank you, Rage Page.
Not many, because
62%. So most Americans own the means of production.
How many Americans are profiting significantly
62%, because we have the highest stock market ever.
That doesn't mean that everyone is profiting from the stock market.
They are.
Yes, it does. That's exactly what it means.
He's doing great.
Dude, that was a horrible.
It is time for round 3.
No, Michael.
There we go.
Who won the round?
Thank you, guys. Last round. Let's do it.
Who won the round? I thought it was a given. Okay.
It is a given.
I'm seeing a lot. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of red. That's great. Thank you. Appreciate that. Who wins the VIP round? I'm going to say the watch guy. The watch guy wins it because he has good taste.
Where's the watch guy?
And now, without further ado, it's time for round 3.
Let's go!
Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm going to go first on this one because I don't know if this is going to be a winner, and I think I'm actually on the lib side for this one, but I'm right. My argument is, they know it. They see it.
A lot of people have stories like this. And if you said I bought Bitcoin at 4K and sold it at 12K, thinking I was a genius. When you have Bitcoin, just hold on to it and it'll all work out. But the thing is, if it was at $4,000, at what point would it not be reasonable to be like, okay, this has got to top out at some point? There's no reasonable way to assume that it will get to 100K, all that stuff. And so even though you tripled your money, like, that ain't bad. You can always just buy more Bitcoin. And the point is that, like, yeah, like the guy that bought the pizza, there's never going to, first of all, that was huge because we needed a use case. And second of all, anybody who has it at a lower price, like we're all talking about it in, 100,000. There's 8 decimals in a Satori. So there's no reason not to expect that potentially, eventually, a Bitcoin will be worth $1 million. But if you bought in at $50K and it's at $500,000, sell that shit. At least some of it. Because you don't know what's going to happen. So don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about it. But definitely hodl. Jamerson got my start investing in solar and EV a year ago. From there, investing in semiconductor chips, following that AI and quantum computing, now rare earth minerals. And if you're paying attention, then you can make some good money. And again, yeah, you're never going to be able to make the maximum amount. There's no way that you buy in on day one and you sell at the exact moment of the peak. So, you know, of course, I don't think kind of think Satoshi isn't real. To say, I mean, as long as the blockchain works as intended, I don't really give a shit.
My argument is they know it. They see it coming. They read my Twitter. I think that HOAs are awesome, and I love them, and I hate the others. We don't want that drag.
Now, I don't have an HOA, but there is a company that owns the condo development, and they are fucking annoying as shit. So, I if only to hear his argument, I would like to go with this one.
Data's here and killed by the audience. Okay. All right, Zina.
Hey, a shout out to Spawn Keeper. That's Avery, right? Welcome to the party. Very good to see you. Said HOA should be fucking illegal. And Michael Knowles out here saying more HOAs. I'm good with that.
Listen, guys, we've already done my third topic. Let's get back to toxic masculinity again. Am I right? We've already done.
Yes, do it again. Toxic masculinity is ruining young men. Where am I? There am I. I am there. I want them to do this because I want to see what the argument is and how flimsy of a point this actually is.
Come on, people. All right.
Okay. We got a bar full of people. And you want us to debate HOAs.
And how awesome they are. It got them rowdier than anything tonight.
And Luke doesn't understand that because he's 12 years old and doesn't have any frame of reference for owning land, assets, anything else.
Okay, my third claim is Trump hates the working class. You get the gist on that one.
That kind of fired him up. That fired him up a little bit too. Mr. Davies, who was it?
Toxic masculinity.
It's tough because I'm in the corner. I feel like I'm getting biased. I got to be like right in the middle for the decibel here.
Toxic.
What does it sound like in the middle of the room? Do that more time?
Toxic masculinity.
Right, but behave. What they're cheering for is which thing they're going to debate. Not that they agree with the prompt. They're trying to decide which one. I can smell the cigarette smoke from my neighbor outside. Oh, yeah. They're cheering about which they want to debate, not do they agree.
Masculinity.
But they wanted to go back to, no, enough. We have enough in our culture. I kind of felt like Luke's topic won it. Trump hates the working class. No, you don't. You agree? No, all right, you'll disagree. That's fine. You want to do toxic masculinity?
Yeah.
That's fine. All right, Zina, what's your point?
Listen.
Bing, bing, bing.
Men are 4 times more likely to commit suicide than women. And the CDC attributes this to hyper-toxic masculine norms that have been spread amongst Western society.
The same CDC that told me all that bullshit about COVID, that CDC? Okay.
So what we're seeing right now is that, and listen, where are all the men out here? I want to hear it from the men out here. Where are the men? All right? This is a woman, this is a feminist, right? Arguing for you. I don't like that you guys are not allowed to express your emotions. I don't like the times that you feel insecure or sadder. And
shout out to Chad with a $2 make ya holla. Thank you. Said, call the HOA on the neighbor's cigarette. I could, but she's already outside, so I think you're allowed to do that. And 2, she is awesome. She brought home a plate of Thanksgiving dinner for me since it was just me and Morty for Thanksgiving. So she really does come through. So I will not be doing that, but just a funny little, okay. Little bit of a pivot. If you have done Coke before, do you ever get like this phantom Coke smell where it's like, is there like Coke like 6 inches from my face? Or is that just me?
I don't like
you again,
the times that
Chad.
you feel insecure or sad, and you can't express that. Where does that energy go? Oftentimes, that leads to men's deaths in bars when they feel this pent up anger that they can't release in normal, regulated ways. And I don't think.
Why do you think we feel like we can't express those in normal ways? Is that because of toxic masculinity, or is that directly because of feminism and the tenets of feminism? That's what I thought.
That's okay. A lot of men are turning to these podcasters who tell them these narratives about how women are out to get them. And that's actually what's inhibiting you from getting laid. Let me tell you.
True.
Okay?
I'm not trying to get laid. I'm trying to get married.
Women don't like that. What I'm telling, let's be honest.
Within the context of marriage, she meant.
Let's be honest.
I think that's what she meant.
Did she though? Come on.
Let's be honest. You want to get laid and you don't want to be sad. You don't want to be a hyper toxic man. That's my case. I think.
Okay, so it's not just me. It's not just me. There you go. You know, my brain, it goes in different directions. But okay. Ooh, that smell. Okay, I'm not alone. Like yeah, right. Sometimes it's gotta been at least 7 years. I know it's been more than 5 years, but like it's been a minute. And I still get that phantom smell. And I just want some. Oh, fucking yeah. Oh, God. I miss it. Yeah, just the two of us. You and I. How many of your parents brought girls to you to marry yet? Well, that's a whole story. That's a whole story. Come to the after party if you would like to hear that story.
You don't want to be a hyper toxic man. That's my case. I think it's a pretty good one. So
okay, hyper toxic. I agree with. How do you be hyper toxic and also be masculine at the same time? You can't, bro. You can't. Because part of being masculine is not what is the word she used?
Yeah, hyper toxic.
Yeah, part of being masculine means that you're not hyper toxic. Never. Don't do drugs.
Man, that's my case. I think it's a pretty good one. So.
Okay, so we got to drill down. What do you mean? It's a very loaded term. What do you mean by toxic masculinity?
I think toxic masculinity is an accumulation of norms that say things like men should never be allowed to cry. It's a sign of total weakness. It's a fail.
Yeah, that is a feminist ideal that we want you to show your emotions, and then we do. Box, I'm counting on you to come through with this. I'm counting on you to come through with this. I think he's left, but we do. And then what happens? They get the ick, or they call you gay. It's icky. Ew, your emotions are icky. Like, all right, bet. Stoicism it is.
Men should never be allowed to cry. It's a sign of total weakness. It's a failure on a man's part.
Okay.
A lot of people say that. In fact,
did we not just have Abba and Preach calling out Officer Tatum? He was on the whatever podcast talking about how if his father died or his kid died, it was one or the other. I don't remember. But either way, let's say his father or his kid died. He said, for my woman, I would not cry because that's my job as a man. And then, I don't know, a few months or whatever later, he's justifiably on stream crying about Charlie Kirk. Point being, not that it's not okay to cry for Charlie Kirk. The notion that it's stupid to say that it's bad to cry at a funeral. Who said? Yeah. Ironically, it's the opposite. I think in the same way where like people who have ADHD, when they take like Ritalin or Adderall, it calms them down. I think I have a touch of something like that because I do enough where I'm fucking going. But like the first few lines, I get very like stiff and quiet and like I don't want to be around people. Like my favorite way to do blow is one or two other people in my home where I can control the music and or TV. I just want to be sitting around chit-chatting, blowing lines, and watching or listening to what I want to watch or listen to. I don't need to be out partying. I just like it to be pure, you know? Not the Indian tour. For that, you need whiskey. Behave said it's safer to cry with male friends or dad. You need to vent. Right, and that's the thing is that we have ways to express our emotions. We just hide that from you because of your feminist ideology and what it does when you see it. So if anything, if there is such a thing that we are calling toxic masculinity, it is a direct response to feminism. So I'm not boxed, but I will say that if men need to express emotion, they do it with trusted other men, not the women in their lives. Well, Box likes the word icky. So, right, it's weird. Oh, yeah. But yeah, Box always likes that word icky. And I mean, I haven't. I mean, why, you got some? I'll do some right now. Oh, I thought you meant while you're doing coke. I thought that's like my favorite way to do coke is to cry alone in my car, listen to music. Now, yeah, exactly. There's ways, and again, we do things in a way that women don't know because women are the ones that can't handle masculinity.
Total weakness. It's a failure on a man's part.
Okay.
A lot of people say that. In fact, podcasters with millions of followers say that.
Okay, now I have a question for you. So that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
So you're saying men shouldn't repress their
Didn't before when we appealed to Instagram? That Luke was like, well, that's because of Instagram and the algorithm and then. So now when we're talking about Red Pill podcasts, that's not relevant. No principles, just positions. Anything to help your own opinion. It is insane.
Okay, now I have a question for you. So that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
So you're saying men shouldn't repress their emotions and they should have some feels. Okay. So curiously enough, there was a study in 2021 out of UCLA, the study. I said, no science here. So there was a study, and it measured emotional repression in men and what that does. And what it found out is that emotional repression in men is not correlated really with bad outcomes. It's correlated with better executive function. It's correlated with better goal orientedness. It's correlated with better satisfaction. It's
also correlated with getting laid more, which the fucking libs care so much about.
It's backed up in 2023 by a study out of Germany, which showed that emotional repression in men was associated with greater relaxation and less stress throughout all points of the study.
Okay, so you're telling me that suppressing your nervous system and not regulating your So your emotions have to do with your nervous system. You know
but
that,
they're more than your nervous system. Because we're more than
But
flesh.
that's a component. So why did you say no? Anyway,
Because we're more than
with that
flesh.
being said, so you're saying that suppressing your emotions and not releasing them, which means emotional dysregulation.
No, that means
better.
emotional
that
regulation.
means emotional dysregulation. Emotional repression is emotional dysregulation.
No,
yes,
quite the
100%.
opposite.
Literally not. What? If you're controlling something by repressing it, how can... That's not what those words mean, sweetie. That's not what those words mean. When you are able to change your emotional output based on the input, that's not dysregulation. That is exactly what regulation means. You act regular despite what's going on inside. Regulation.
Stupid. Emotional dysregulation. Emotional repression is emotional dysregulation.
No,
yes, 100%.
quite the opposite.
Do you know what emotion?
regulation, obviously. Yeah.
Women and men are different.
Hey, girl! Oh my God! I'm not even usually into blondes, but God damn!
Basis. A lot of the traits that men exhibit in the brain are very similar to the traits that women have, and the vast differences in violence that are perpetuated against men cannot be explained by the differences that come from the brain.
Jeremy says, if you do coke, most of that comes from Colombia, and you're literally putting money in the hands of cartels that you say are the problem. Wait, what? No way. Gotta be a troll comment, right? I do think this is a troll comment. Yes. This is. I mean, like, I'm also buying into the Chinese companies that I hate because I'm talking to a microphone and I'm on TikTok and like. Okay, so first, I already said it's been a long time since I've done coke. Secondly, it's the level of extrapolating every action to this is the end of the world is why people hate you. And I don't mean you personally. I mean you, the libs.
Violence that are perpetuated against men cannot be explained by the differences that come from the brain. Biologists and psychologists agree on this. What's happening is that norms in society reinforce negative behavior from men. And once again, the CDC agrees with me, right? So again, when you call emotional repression, emotional regulation, you're committing a fallacy that's not only harmful, but damaging.
So here, let's just try to define our terms then.
Because we're talking about regulation and dysregulation are opposite things, but you're both talking about the same action, and one of you is saying it's regulation, and one of you is saying dysregulation. So which is it? I think that regulating your emotions means feeling your emotions and then making sure that you act regular. Regular meaning if you're at a funeral that you're crying, but you're like, ah! My God! There's a way to express your emotions. Good luck to you, brother.
Committing a fallacy that's not only harmful, but damaging.
So here, let's just try to define our terms then, because that's fair. It seems to me that when I really want to have an outburst, I want to yell, I want to cry, I want to beat the table with my emotions. If I suppress that, and if I say, no, Michael, don't do that, you're going to look ridiculous, you're going to look like you're on the other side of the aisle, then
you're more regular. Other side of the aisle. It's going to be more regular.
Press that. And if I say, no, Michael, don't do that, you're going to look ridiculous, you're going to look like you're on the other side of the aisle, then what I am doing is I am controlling my emotions. In other words, and when you control something, you are regulating that thing. So that's what the
regulation, that's not.
Okay, but maybe check your shit, motherfucker. So fine. Jeremy says, but you need your microphone to do your job in order. So I'm assuming you don't need coke to survive. Fair enough. I'm sure that there's a whole bunch of issues with alcohol companies, right? I don't need alcohol to do my job. Does that mean that I can't discuss health because I engage in things that are not healthy? Do you see how when you take your very slim logic, and if you expand it to actually apply to the principle instead of just the example, you see it doesn't make sense. And again, Colby, if you would like to look at the thing, I'm asking you a question for the side quest.
In other words, and when you control something, you are regulating that thing. So that's what the
regulation, that's not repression.
But you said emotion. I'm saying that's emotional regulation, and you said it's the opposite.
So right.
Exactly. So if you had brought up repression, then what did Chad said it earlier? Where was it? Yeah, this is a repression. Pushing down far enough, you can forget about it and explode like a good American. Like, yeah, that is the repression that she is talking about. But millennials are the therapy generation, sweetie. Talk to Gen X and boomers about that shit. We know what you're trying to say, and we just disagree with you. Did I say it came from cartels? What did I say? What was the argument that I gave you? Can you try to steel man why I brought up alcohol? Because it doesn't seem like you understood.
And that's not repression.
But
There's
you said emotion. I'm saying that's emotional regulation, and you said it's the opposite.
So right. So you cited some study, which I'm going to have to look up after this, right? That says that emotional repression is somehow emotional regulation, which is not true. Repression is
No,
something
it doesn't say that.
Exactly right. That's not what it says. We are separating regulation from repression. We agree with you that repressing your emotions is bad. Regulating your emotions is good. Those are not the same things. So this is not a steel man of what I said, but well, let's try it anyway. Take cannabis. If you buy from a dispensary, an American company is benefiting, but if you buy from the cartels, then they are benefiting like alcohol. Right? Okay, so what do you think my argument was with the alcohol? Why do you think I brought that up?
Repression is somehow emotional regulation, which is not.
You're not going to answer the question? So you can't steel man me because you don't know what I said. It's okay. Like, I say a lot of shit, and sometimes it's not very cohesive. That's fine if you didn't understand. I know you did, Colby. I asked you a question, Colby. I need you to answer the question, Colby.
No, it doesn't say that.
Emotional repression is entirely different. If you're talking about emotional regulation,
you just agreed with me that regulation is when you control something.
Yeah. You said
but not with your emotions.
Repression is entirely different, right? I'm talking about these ideas of men not being able to exhibit emotions like sadness. Sadness is an important emotion that all humans, regardless of sex, experience. Can everyone agree that sadness is a normal human emotion?
Yes. We feel it. Yeah, we feel sadness.
Okay, perfect. So when you experience sadness, doesn't mean that we need to have an outburst every single time. There are many different ways to regulate your nervous system. That includes deep breaths, but that doesn't mean that you should go your entire life as a male without crying. That is not normal, and it is unhuman.
No one says you can never cry.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, so let me just say, I think a part of what you're talking about is there is
number one. I don't have an offensive against using cocaine, so I'm not defending it. But no, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to be doing cocaine. What I am saying, oh wait, no, you have to steel man me first. So why did I bring up alcohol?
Is a group. Oh, is there more drinks for me? Yes.
Another one.
There is
the real all-stars of the night, right?
This is for you, Michael. There is a group of influencers who try to tell a generation of young men that the source of their problem. Just let me get through this, and I'm going to throw it to you.
I didn't interrupt. Why is he accusing me for? I didn't interrupt at all.
Just getting prepared. That the source of men's problem is that women.
I didn't say it was a debate. I just asked you if you understood why I brought up alcohol. And you're going to, well, if you guys want to do coke with like a little fucking fruitcake. So just why do you think that I brought up alcohol? It's a simple question. It's not a debate. It's a conversation. You're talking to me and I'm talking to you. I asked you a question. Why do you think that I... Oh, man. Projection! I am calmly asking you a question about the logic of what I said to see if you understand what I am saying. And that's crying because you can't answer a question. Just admit that you don't know what I said and ask me to reframe it. Maybe you'll agree with me, or maybe you'll understand it and being like, oh, you know what? That's really stupid. Let me dunk on you, Lutch. You could do that. But instead, you're projecting and being emotional. Like a liberal.
Getting prepared. That the source of men's problem is that women, like for example, on Tucker Carlson's recent interview with Nick Fuentes, Nick said the source of men not being able to find relationships is women essentially are the problem. And
I think so. I was hoping not, but I think so.
They're getting too loud.
I mean, that's what's gonna happen when you are as engaged with the chat as I am. That people will be like, ooh, somebody's willing to pay attention to me. Let me say the stupidest shit I can, so they keep paying attention to me. Like, yeah, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt because maybe you are that stupid and I would like to help. And just because you're retarded doesn't mean that I don't want to have a conversation with you. And so the trolls who are going to take advantage of that are, going to be our entertainment. And they get to feel like, yeah, they get to feel special because, oh, you highlighted me. Nobody else gives a fuck about me. but you do, so you must be obsessed with me or something. Why not? You can't even steel man what the fuck I said. How do you even know if I'm stupid or smart? You don't even know what the fuck I said. So steel man, why I brought up alcohol, and then we can continue the conversation. But you are projecting and crying and bringing up other fucking random shit. Do you understand why I brought up alcohol or no? I will happily say it to you calmly again and again. Maybe you disagree, and by understanding, then you'll be able to dunk on me. I'm not here to win anything. I know it's not a debate. I think that's a little bit more projection from you, that you think that you're getting attacked because I'm just asking you questions and you're talking as if you don't understand as what I just said. So I'm just asking you to explain what you think I meant. And look where it got us. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, I'm just beside myself with tears. So okay. So I dodged the entire point by bringing up alcohol. So you're wrong. I addressed directly the point. I was making the point that you are dragging things too many steps apart. I didn't ever say anything about alcohol being from the cartel. I said bad things can happen from alcohol use. And you are saying that, well, if you use Coke and the bad thing is the cartel, then by that logic, by that principle, then you say anything that leads to bad things should not ever be done. And that is a stupid statement because the world is too big to fucking have control over this fucking every little thing that happens. That was the point. All you had to do was say, no, I don't really understand. Can you explain to me? But you decided to cry and call me a snowflake because you were crying. Projection. All right. Anyway,
to find relationships is women essentially are the problem and they're getting too loud or whatever. So I'd be curious to ask you, because there's, a little bit of a debate on your side. Where do you stand on Nick Fuentes?
He's not like my best buddy, I guess you would have to say. Yeah, I wouldn't say we get along very well.
Okay.
No.
Wait, I missed it. Who's he talking about? Oh, Nick Fuentes.
He's not like my best buddy, I guess you would have to say. I wouldn't say we get along very well.
Okay.
No.
Wait,
But he has half a point on the women, which is that.
But even to assume that Michael Knowles of the Daily Wire would not be against, at least publicly, the Zetos guy shows how out of touch Luke actually is. Too retarded. So, all right, let's see what we've got from our boy Cole here. Is that a side quest worth watching? Let's see.
For men, shame is not a bunch of competing, conflicting expectations. Shame is one. Do not be perceived as what?
Gay.
Weak. I did not interview men for the first 4 years of my study. And it wasn't until a man looked at me one day after a book signing and said, I love what you have to say about shame. I'm curious why you didn't mention men. And I said, I don't study men. And he said, that's convenient. And I said, why? And he said, because you say to reach out, tell our story, be vulnerable. But you see those books you just signed for my wife and my 3 daughters? I said, yeah. They'd rather me die on top of my white horse than watch me fall down. When we reach out and be vulnerable, we get the shit beat out of us. And don't tell me it's from the guys and the coaches and the dads. Because the women in my life are harder on me than anyone else. So I started interviewing.
Yup. I was gonna say I'd watch that whole thing, but I mean, I kind of get the point there. But yeah, man, I mean, it's this is life, and the I think it is explicitly the fact that the millennial generation has been the therapy generation, and now our millennial men are the most emotionally emotionally intelligent group of men since we get more and more emotionally intelligent as we understand the brain better, all that stuff. And so her being a Zoomer, she didn't. I can't imagine how this sounds to you Gen Xers. I cannot imagine how this sounds to you Gen Xers, because it's like the level of emotion that we see, people in general, men, women, whatever. But just the degree of emotionality that we see crashing out. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? We are more emotional than we've ever been. It's just not the emotions that you like, sweetie. So it's toxic.
Oh, no.
Wait,
but he has half a point on the women, which is that the problems in relationships are basically
women.
half caused by women and half caused by
But I
men.
never hear the problems about the guys. That's the problem.
You got to listen more closely.
There is a whole message about how I guess they've just become too liberal, or they're taking birth control and sleeping around the town too much. And I think that a message to men about taking ownership, becoming better men, and becoming more appealing in the world is much more compelling than this sort of Nick Fuentes does about how, it said, woe is me, my whole life is so hard getting girls.
Yikes. Pretty gay. Pretty gay. What a fucking loser. What are you doing? Like, go do something that you like. I never understand this. And this is how we know you're a troll. Either a troll or a pathetic loser. If you really think that, my brain is rotted from all that coke that I explicitly said I haven't done in 10 years, that I the help that I need, it explains everything. That my channel is 5,000 times bigger than yours. What are you talking about? Go watch Luke Beasley. You're in the wrong place, homie.
I mean, over the half of the people in this bar are women.
I'll take the watch time. You mean nothing, but go.
And I'm sure a lot of us recognize there are a lot of problems.
Donald, I'll give you a warning. We ain't gonna do that. Let's not do that. Welcome to the of course. Yeah, Donald. Just a warning for now, but keep it chill, please.
Women, and I'm sure a lot of us.
Just a warning. I could have banned you.
Problems with the dating pool nowadays. I mean, there's like a lot of things that women can express that we have issues with coming from men, but we don't take this drastic stance that men are the root of all evil and they're destroying the world. I mean, clearly, I don't think that's any of our position. So it's really interesting that these incels and these podcasters are making the exact opposite point, and it's actually getting to the point where we're seeing men in bursts of anger. Again, getting to my point.
I gave him the opportunity. Well, again, these are people who have so little to offer anyone or anything. He's banned already. It's so pathetic. Can you ever imagine? You have nothing else to do. You work a real job. Maybe you work 2 jobs. You got a family. You got a wife. And you get, 2-3 hours a day to just do whatever is for you. And you go watch a show that you don't like? Why would you do that? Don't do that. It's very weird, and we're all laughing at you.
Going out and actually killing women out of anger. We're seeing influxes of these cases, especially since recent events. That's not okay.
I thought didn't you just say men kill themselves at a much higher rate than women, and men die earlier?
Here's the funny thing. Here's the thing. Men kill themselves and other men and disproportionately kill women as well. So when it comes to killing, men, they top the charts. That's the problem.
Yeah, men are more violent and stronger than women.
We love them.
We love men.
Me and Luke are besties.
We love men. I just don't want y'all to misconstrue. We just want them to take ownership.
Who saw what I just saw? Who saw what I just saw? Oh, poor Lukey boy. Oh, gut punched. Shout out to Jerry. I missed your comment. Oh, fuck me with these fucking trolls. Where are we at? Welcome to the party. Jerry said a Dunning-Kruger feminazi she is. She makes as much sense as a chicken having lips. Then there's the black girl. Oh my goodness. How did I miss that? Delete to that. Good one. Boom. Colby caught it.
They top the charts. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Just to be
men
clear,
are
we
more
love
violent
men
and stronger
over
than
here.
women.
We love them.
We love men.
Me and Luke are besties.
We love men. I just don't want y'all to misconstrue.
That means I will never let you inside.
We love them.
We love men.
Me and Luke are besties.
We love men. I just don't want y'all to misconstrue. We just want them to take ownership, but we love them.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Men.
So look, in defense of some of the reactions to feminism that you're pointing.
Are you joking, or did he really say that?
Yeah, I think for a lot of men, obviously, anything that's toxic is bad for you, so no one likes that. But you have to drill down. So, like to the point when you said that, well, toxic masculinity is when you don't cry a lot or whatever. I say, well, actually, no, it's actually good for men to control themselves. That's a healthy masculinity. And I think a lot of what men are feeling, especially young men are feeling, is they've been told for their whole lives that they've been told from their teachers, from the media, from the government that they are evil, that there's something wrong with them, and that they need to be more effeminate, and that they need to be less manly.
Right,
Yeah,
so
I think
that's
so. You can deny it, but I think they've heard that.
Oh, okay. I missed the yeah. Where is it? Yeah. I missed it. Going to a poll. All right. And then so this round is over. So get your poll answers in. This is the last thing we're gonna be able to talk about. Is Luke. Or no, Zina is the chick. Oh. Let me see. What do you guys think?
Need to be less manly.
Right,
Yeah,
so
I think
that's
so. You can deny it, but I think they've heard that. Luke gets to finish his point.
I think this bell's rigged.
He started talking. I'm going to carry that around every time I'm around Luke, actually. You can finish your point.
What? I can't.
Yes.
Oh, good. No, I
Did you have
I mean,
a
you
voice
shouldn't be
crack?
telling men you don't need to be more feminine, be whatever you are. But I think it's more like there's a whole group of people saying women should go back to being men's property. So that you denounce that, right?
What?
Nick
I think
Fuentes,
they should go back to being our wives.
Come on.
I think that's a good idea.
See, you
Okay.
don't even answer. It's so sad.
Wait, what was the thing we were watching? What was it where somebody got offended? Because one dude said my wife, or my wife, my woman, my girl, my lady, my something like that, and referring to his wife, and someone got offended by it. Does anybody remember? I know it was on stream. I don't remember exactly what it was. Anybody remember?
Yeah, I don't think there should be property. I think there should be wives. It's more fun to have a wife than property. Yes.
Well, that's what
Good
your friends
evening.
are saying.
How are you?
I'm great.
I also would love to talk about how Nick Fuentes is, but first we need to talk about how HOAs are actually.
Hey! Oh, right. The fucking changed my mind. Good call. Yeah, that was so fucking weird. They will find anything to be offended. It is so weird.
Now it's a more pressing point immediately to my family. Actually, my family all lives in Pennsylvania. I'm alone. But regardless, okay. Michael Knowles, give me your case.
Hey. All right. Some of us didn't know any better.
Case for HOAs.
HOAs, this is what, now you're going to hate me for this. I don't care. Okay, they hated him because he spoke the truth, and I'm telling you the truth here. The HOA is a dividing line between the real conservatives and the libertarians, the L word. Let me tell you why. They say,
yeah, true. Republicans need a daddy to tell them exactly what to do, where libertarians, we do it our damn self.
Oh, you like HOAs. You're a communist. Well, I'm not a communist. I don't want to live in a commune. I want to live in a nice neighborhood. And standards are good. I don't want to walk outside my house and see some ugly, stupid, lib Lego house that they keep building.
Okay, then build a coalition with your community. Stop exporting that right and that duty to other people. This is what is wrong with the Christian right. Everything is, well, there's something else higher. I am useless. I'm just a husk that is here for waiting. There's always someone else who should do it. What does that sound like to you? You fucking go talk to your neighbors. You have a coalition where, hey, we're not going to have fucking whatever Christmas tree lights that we want. And then you make it uncomfortable when somebody is not going along with what you guys want. Do it your fucking self. Why do you need a daddy for every little fucking thing? Republicans are so annoying with this shit.
I don't want to walk outside my house and see some ugly, stupid lib Lego house that they keep building. I don't want to see some dumb pride flag. I don't want to see any of that. Okay, and so I like local governance to say
go. It's not, but that's so. Go live somewhere where they don't allow that. What are you talking about? It's literally not. It's literally not. It is one person who is in charge of the whole neighborhood. What I am talking about is a group or a club or a coalition where the ideas, maybe you pick somebody who is a spokesperson or something, but it's not a requirement. It is a part of how you, and then if you don't fit in with the people where you live, maybe research that before you move there, and don't move there.
Standards in this neighborhood. I don't want them to build some monstrosity next to me. All home renovations make the home.
Me. I want to be able to tell you what you can do with your property because I'm right, and I know that God told me that the HOA is right.
Shut up! Home's worse 100% of the time these days because people don't have taste. I want the not just merely the individual liberty, really licentiousness to put up a bunch of dumb signs in my yard. I want the exalted liberty to live in a beautiful neighborhood. And when my neighbors want to screw up my view, I can tell them no. And I bring down the full force of Francisco Franco upon them.
Okay, that's awesome. So if
the only people who like the HOA are the people who run the HOA.
They have the obligation to obey the HOA. Does the HOA have the obligation to subsidize my obligation?
No, you. In fact, you have to pay taxes to the HOA.
So I just need to pay them.
Yes.
To obey what the laws that they set out.
Yeah, and that you set out.
Actually,
you could run
as
the
a
HOA.
member of my HOA, correct.
I mean, after reconverting to Catholicism, I am no longer libertarian.
Now we're
no
talking,
longer libertarian.
Baby. You're about to be HOA pilled.
That was kind of a throwaway dig because I try not to cover Christian stuff too much anymore. He fucking said it.
As a member of my HOA, correct.
I mean, after reconverting to Catholicism, I am no longer libertarian.
Now we're
and now I want Daddy to fix everything.
Libertarian.
You're about to be HOA pilled fast. That Catholicism is the first step to taking the H pill.
There you go.
I do have an HOA.
There you go. College, the Catholicism to HOA pipeline is real, guys. It is real.
HOA, and they do subsidize like tons of stuff. But I also live in a condo, so like that kind of relationship makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But if I'm talking about like a home in a development,
yeah,
like if someone is going to tell me, oh, your grass has to be this height, like, I don't know, you're going to effing mow it for me if I'm a single mom with 9 kids? I mean, obviously, that's an extreme example, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, listen, think about it the other way, though. Everyone always thinks of it as, I'm being controlled by the HOA and I can't screw up my house and put up a dumb pride flag or whatever. But think about it the other way. You get to control your neighbors and you get to make sure that like crazy libs don't move into your neighborhood and they don't build a bunch of monstrosities next to you.
Yeah, that sounds pretty gay. I need the HOA to make sure that everything is the way that I want it because I don't know how to live in a society.
That make your life worse every time you open your window.
I'm a great neighbor. I want you to know that. I'm a little sick of this. But he told me we were going to do HOA, so I looked up some stuff about HOAs that I didn't know, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm very passionate that I'm against you.
No,
you're
no,
I'm sick and tired of you.
We're on the same side here.
No, I'm not. Now, the main problem, I think, is that so it starts with a developer, right? Then they hand it over to some group of homeowners.
Some Karens.
And the problem with it, the reason people don't like it is all the homeowners don't actually get a say in it. A lot of these HOAs have like 3 board members for a bunch of homes, and then they just lord over everyone, and no one wants that because this is America.
I want that. I gotta give him the dilly dilly. We gotta call it like it is. I did not expect to end on a Luke Beasley dilly, but holy fucking shit. Wow. 71% of you said yes. Zina is gay. With a name like that, you really never know. All right, let's, so Chad said, make sure some crazy libs don't move in. In this case, libs and brown people are interchangeable for the Zionist. Maybe. I'm not going to cast that aspersion, but I'm not going to say there's no correlation. Fair?
But with that being said, there should be HOAs. They should just be democratic among all the homeowners.
It seems the masses are turning blue. I don't know.
Hold on. Are you? Now, what side are you on? See, don't fence it on an important question like the
this?
HOAs.
Where do I stand on HOAs?
You're with me, and you know it. You just don't want to admit it. You don't want to admit it.
Exactly.
It's interesting because I'm a person of the people. So it's like whatever the people.
You're going to become a Republican to pander to the people. To the libertarians.
I wouldn't go so far as to say I'm a grifter, but no. I would say, I don't live in a lot of communities where I'm very scared of my neighbors, like putting up something that I'm so afraid of that it's like going to like lower.
We love Pride Flag.
And well, no. Hold on. How did we start this conversation? We started this conversation saying how bad the libs are for ruining Thanksgiving with their politics. And now we've gone completely in the other direction. And now it is Michael Knowles who's saying, no, I don't want those people around me. I told you it was a crazy night.
You know what I'm saying? Like, put up the pride flag.
What does that mean?
I mean, that's personally me.
No,
I know,
what about
I
a
know
Trump
the
flag,
audience
though?
is like, that's where I cross the line.
There you go.
You're crossing a line.
There you go.
You're crossing a line there.
All right. Next question.
I need us to start applauding for the lib topics because I listen to Michael talk every day, so I know what he thinks. I want to know what he.
I told you. But I think they're done. So we're gonna end on this question. We'll let them answer, and then we are going to head over to the after party. So if you are on the vertical stream, guys, the after party is for anybody. I'm about to change the pinned link though. I'm about to drop the link, and now on either stream, the link that is pinned to the top of the chat is the link to the free Discord server. It's absolutely free. We're in there hanging out all the time, but there are members-only channels, including the members-only after party in the voice channel. However, if you click that link before the stream is over, and I'll be able to see, you get a day pass to come and hang out, and we gonna be getting into it. Well, okay, I know that. No. That's Yiddish. I'm just saying no really fast. But what is the hands thing? Like, no. That's just no. What do you mean? This brownish person is not controlled by a white savior or Jew unless it is literally my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Okay. Maybe Jeremy will join and spurg out in voice chat. I 1,000% know for sure that Jeremy will not do that. Jeremy does not have the balls to do that. He's the balls to tickety clickety click 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 clickety clack, and he's still watching, of course. But he would never. Doesn't have the balls, and that is why you shouldn't be a little fruitcake troll. In fact, Jeremy, how about this? I'll drop the link for you if you want to come up and talk to me in front of the people. I know you're still watching. There you go, right there. Come on up, sweetie baby.
Thinks against what they think.
Right.
So please help me out. We're not cheering for them. We're cheering for their topics. I don't think that was clearly communicated before. Okay.
And you listen every day. I love that. That's great.
I tell people that Michael Knowles is my internet dad.
Stop
When I don't know what to do, I just listen to Michael Knowles.
I told you, Republicans and their fucking daddy shit. Oh my God.
And he tells me what to do.
Something's wrong with you.
That's
Real. Well, the only thing is I'm not Catholic, so I'm sorry, but.
Not yet, but hey, that's good. I'll take it. That's good.
We all love Jesus. All right. So my question is for you.
Shout out to a Spawn Keeper. I still don't know what the fuck the jewels are, but they're coming in, and I very, very, very much appreciate whatever that is. Thank you so very, very much.
I am a recently converted financial professional. I was a studio art major at Liberty University. lost my job unexpectedly, and then girl bossed my way into finance. I'm surrounded by men all the time. They talk about football. I don't know what the heck's going on most of the time. But I do know that there are 2 ETFs that people love. The Nancy Pelosi one, NANC, and the Cruz one.
What's a bit on Twitch? No, because this one got an actual. Yeah, because so Chad sent, because this is telling me again with the stream itself. It's live. It's telling me the chat revenue is $5. That was from Chad, but both you and Behave sent in jewels, and I don't fully understand what they are or how I view them or what they're worth or anything. So I apologize for my ignorance, but I appreciate you guys. I love ya.
People love. The Nancy Pelosi one, NANC, and the Cruz one, KRUZ. Since inception, 2023, Nancy Pelosi's ETF has a return of 19%. The Cruz one only has like 13 to 60% range since inception. My question is, your claim before was that Republicans are what for the economy?
Better. Oh, worse.
Better. That's a Freudian slip. If I know
Well, a Freudian slip is what that's called.
Okay. Well, here's my question: if Republicans are worse for if Republicans are worse.
So think of it as donations, but in jewels. Whatever I buy them for, you get 50% of the value when you redeem them. Okay, how the fuck do I redeem them for what? All right, we're gonna figure this out. And I don't know anything with the stream goal and all that stuff. I will figure that out by the next stream. So thank you guys very, very much.
Oh, here's my question: if Republicans are worse for the economy, then how come Nancy Pelosi's tracker is doing so much better than the Republican one by almost 3 to 6%?
Because Democrats are better at the economy. That's
Is insider trading better for the economy?
No,
Insider trading corrupt information?
Yeah, so insider trading is horrible. I think.
I hope they're not doing that, because I would like to be able to see and say, "Oh, thank you," and then have that add to the stream goal. If that is the case, then unfortunately, guys, I have no way to track exactly what that is. So if you would like to give me jewels, I very, very much appreciate that. But super chats and gifted memberships are probably your best bet for right now. But again, I'll look into it and make sure I understand exactly what it is so we can apply it to the stream goal, because I don't want to, we got a good thing going, It's a virtual currency on YouTube used for purchasing animated GIFs to support creators on vertical live streams. So then you're just giving YouTube a bunch of money. The family jewels. So let's why don't we not do that? Because if you're spending $10 and if it's a super chat, then I'm going to get $7 and you're still spending $10 or gifted membership. If you spend $10 on jewels, then I only get $5 and you still spent $10. So the jewels is you're just giving YouTube more money. And of course, CashApp or Venmo, PayPal, all that stuff is much better because they don't take shit. And if you're not familiar, at TheIndianJesus on Venmo or $TheIndianJesus on CashApp. But yes, much appreciated. And hey, you do you, guys. Yeah, that seems like a money thing for YouTube, not so much for you and I. But either way, much appreciated. I will look into it, I promise. And Jeremy, we're still waiting on you, homie. Still waiting on you, brother homie dude. He's like Luffy from One Piece.
Better for the economy? Insider trading corrupt information?
Yeah, so insider trading is horrible. I think Nancy Pelosi shouldn't be able to do that. I think every member of Congress shouldn't be able to do that, obviously.
Then maybe
Okay, wait. Democrats have been fighting for that a heck of a lot longer than Republicans have. And
hey, a shout out to Soup or Fun. We're going with Soup or Fun. Welcome. Said Among Us Omni-Man Steve. I am not saying that. I don't know what that actually means. But welcome to the party.
Wait,
Like
Democrats have been fighting for that.
I feel like that's some like thing to unlock, some shady something.
A heck of a lot longer than Republicans have. And the reason I don't like it is because it could lead to corruption, which is also why I don't like.
Are you panhandling on the internet?
Trump's meme coin, his UA, etc.
His UA, what?
That's his AI, I should say, his AI chips deal.
Okay.
With the UAE and his open brazen corruption with funneling money to. So it's the same reason I don't like the Pelosi stuff or anyone else using their insider information. I think it should be banned. I don't think Trump would ever sign that into law. I don't think Trump should be profiting off of his presidency either.
So do you think that's a very reasonable point, but do you think, like with Pelosi, I think we're all just admitting she obviously insider trades and it's totally ridiculous.
It's too good. People put that in their 401ks and they're making so much money.
Yeah.
Please, thank you. May I have your money, please? Thank you, thank you.
He's like the best hedge fund manager in the country. But with Trump, it's not to say that there aren't questions, about, he obviously is an international businessman. He has the crypto thing. He has all that. I'm just saying.
You're against it, though. You can't be against it for Pelosi and then for Trump.
No, I guess I think what Pelosi is doing is illegal for every American other than members of Congress.
Right.
And what Trump is doing is really not illegal in any way.
What?
So you might say you don't like it. You might say we should pass laws against it.
No, there's plenty of laws.
Isn't it also true that Trump is the only president to take a pay cut in office?
No,
so why
that's not true.
He's
Yeah,
making
he
so much
right now.
I'm just an art major.
Maybe not, but he definitely is the first one to not take any salary, right?
Dude, I don't know.
Is that where this increased by billions just since he got in office? So, I mean, just be consistent. I've been very consistent.
No.
Be consistent.
I am.
You are obvious. If you did one story about Hunter Biden, you better be 100 times as outraged at Trump getting the UAE to invest billions, make his World Liberty Financial billions in a business deal, and then immediately, all of a sudden, he releases the restrictions on the AI chips that they really wanted, and which could then get into China's hands because he was enriched. Same thing with the Binance guy. He ends up pardoning the guy after Binance makes a bunch of money for World Liberty Financial. That's brazen corruption. Right?
Okay, so you were talking about all of the stuff that you said. Oh, well, with Biden, you were talking about all of that, right? Because it works both ways. Because if you actually care about what you're talking about right now, then I should be able to go back on your channel when all of the stuff that Michael Knowles is talking about happened, and you were calling it out, right? Or you weren't. No principles, just positions.
Right? Yeah, I guess my point is on some of these. No, I don't. On a lot of these financial dealings of Trump, a lot of it occurred during the interregnum. The crypto thing occurred before he was brought in.
No, not the UAE deal.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you brought up crypto earlier, which is usually the one that most people point to.
I'm saying, how could you justify someone giving benefits to either people through pardons or countries through restriction relief,
like Fauci
after that country or that?
You mean like Fauci and all of the Bidens, like Jill, who used the auto pen? How? I don't know. How could you support somebody who does that?
Or countries through restriction relief after that country or that person enriches his family to the tune of billions.
Yeah, I think that President Trump has done a very good job being an international businessman, leveraging relationships for the good of the United States. I think that's true. And what I also think.
Wait, were you ever mad about Hunter Biden and Joe Biden?
Yeah, I was mad that the Biden family sold American influence and fired a Ukrainian official in order to enrich his son. Yeah, I think those are different.
Oh, God damn it. Oh, no! Luke can't take Michael Knowles seriously. What is he gonna do? He said, I believe anything the beta says. He lost me at the first sentence. That's what beta libs do. That's what beta libs do. So, big shout out to all of the donations. My goodness. Look at it. Just look at it. Bucks again. We had our boy Indie Film with the 29 months. Thank you, the Rage page. And of course, call the HOA. Thank you, Chad. Guys, so greatly appreciated. Unfortunately, we did not hit the goal today, so no push-ups for me. And I might just give Morty his special treat on my own. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to make you guys feel guilty. Because he could have had a treat, and you took it from him. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, thank you so very, very much. I love all of you. I know that you could be doing anything else in the world, like someone like Jeremy probably should be doing, instead of wasting his time watching and pretending that he's not still watching. But you guys are actually here in good faith, and that means a lot to me. It means a lot. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Thank you so very, very much. Of course, big shout out to Equality and Deference, because Vagina over on Rumble also had the $5 Rumble rant. You guys are amazing. You guys leave me speechless every single time. Yeah, aren't we all? Aren't we all? Right? But hey, we do what we got to do. It can't always be Funkmaster, but I know none of you would be bankrupted from 99 cents. So get the fuck out of here with that shit. All right. It's a free show. Enjoy the free show. But let's not bullshit each other. Thank you guys so very, very much. I really hope that, I didn't see anybody join the Discord. Hopefully we will have an interesting discussion, as we always do. Thank you so very, very much for hanging out, guys. Once again, that is Morty, the co-host and overlord, and I have been your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. Peace. Yo, I'm just gonna hop on a call with Confluence real quick. He just had some questions about like StreamYard and shit, but I'll be right back.
Go for it.
Wait. Hop out. Where are we? Is that neat? Full screen. Pop out. How do we do this? Oh, duh. Shit, the stream's still going. Hold on one sec. My shit's fucking up. Hold on. Why is this not ending? This stream's still live!